Stab 'em. Stop coming, stab 'em. Stab 'em. Alexander coming, stab 'em. Keep on the explode. The leaders I love, the leaders I love, the ones I trust so much, they made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. He gave me a leader with love for his people. He gave me a leader who will deliver us from poverty. God look at Liberia with mercy from him high. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stay in my way. Somebody give me chest. ABC coming, somebody give me chest. I'm talking the talk and do, somebody give me chest. Talk and do, somebody give me chest. The coming the talk and do, somebody give me chest. For better education, somebody give me chest. For good health system, somebody give me chest. For good infrastructure, somebody give me chest. Oh, somebody give me chest. Okay. Way back, you are giving me corporate. Way back, you are giving me small money. Then you tell me say you are coming to face the road. And you tell me say you are coming to face the school. And you tell me say corruption was going to finish. But how come I never see you do nothing? I say how come everything too hard? I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. Please give me a leader with love for these people. Please give me a leader who will deliver from poverty. God look at Liberia with mercy from him high. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stay in my way. Please give me chest. I said get up for him my face. Somebody give me chest. ABC coming, somebody give me chest. Alexander B coming, somebody give me chest. He coming with his partner, somebody give me chest. Solonte, Jeremiah Solonte, somebody give me chest. Solonte, Jeremiah Solonte, somebody give me chest. Jamegu, Lafiegu, somebody give me chest. Jamegu, Lafiegu, somebody give me chest. We talking about talk and do, somebody give me chest. Talk and do, we talking about talk and do, somebody give me chest. Talk and do, we talking about talk and do, somebody give me chest. I said you tell a plenty talking, somebody give me chest. Talk, somebody give me chest. Talk, somebody give me chest. Oh, somebody give me chest. The leaders I love, the ones I love, the ones I love so much. They made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stay in my way. He gave me my ABC, then you want to stay in my way. He gave me my breakthrough, now you want to stay in my way. Enemies of progress, now you want to stay in my way. Please give me chest. I'm talking but I can do, please give me chest. Alexander B. Cummings, please give me chest. For good education, please give me chest. For good infrastructure, please give me chest. I say good health system, please give me chest. Oh, somebody give me chest. Give me chest. The leaders I love, the ones I love, the ones I love so much, they made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. He gave me a leader with love for his people. He gave me a leader who will deliver us from poverty. God look at Liberia with mercy from him high. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stand in my way. Somebody give me chest. ABC coming, somebody give me chest. I'm talking the talk and do, somebody give me chest. Talk and do, the coming the talk and do, somebody give me chest. For good education, somebody give me chest. For better infrastructure, somebody give me chest. For good health system, somebody give me chest. Oh, somebody give me chest. You tell a plenty talking, somebody give me chest. Talk. Somebody give me chest. Talk. I'm talking but talk and do, somebody give me chest. Talk and do, the coming the talk and do, somebody give me chest. Talk and do, corruption not in his blood. I talk and do, stealing not in his blood. They coming, somebody give me chest. His nothing with blood. I'm talking the talk and do, somebody give me chest. Talk and do, the coming the talk and do, somebody give me chest. Somebody give me chance. Back on now, sister. Somebody give me chance. Oh, somebody give me chance. Tell a plenty talking. Somebody give me chance. Talk. Somebody give me chance. Talk. I'm talking but talking and do. Somebody give me chance. Talk and do. Mr. Cummings, I talk and do. Somebody give me chance. Talk and do. Corruption that in his blood. I talk and do. Stealing that in his blood. I talk and do. His hands not stained with blood. I talk and do. I'm talking but talk and do. Somebody give me chance.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. I'm outside today. It's a very beautiful day. You can look in the back there, the snow, the grass all look white and gray and brown and whatsoever. By this time we complain about the cold, and then during the summertime we complain about the heat. If you can hear me there, just give me a thumbs up, and I want you to share this video and like it. Also, try to like the video. I told you guys before, like the video. We will be going through a lot of stuff today, and I want to make you guys to understand that we're not going to concentrate too much on Joe Boaka. We're not going to concentrate on these guys who are trying to leave but they have not left yet. We will have to educate our people and tell them what is the problem and what is going on. So if you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up so I can know, or I can listen to myself from here. Okay, good. I can hear myself. Okay, that's good. All right. So share this video. A few days ago, Liberia celebrated the bicentennial, 200 years old, from 1822 to 2022. So, hey, 200 years old. But yet and still, Liberia is still into a place that we ourselves will stay confused, whether it's leadership or whether it's the people of Liberia that are causing the problem. But I think it's both. We take part of the blame, but I think the leaders take more. And election is just around the corner. 20 months, maybe 20 months from now, we'll be having general election in Liberia. I know some people are discouraged. Some people are saying that the CPP, the opposition bloc, let them down. No. How can you say opposition bloc let you down? CDC themselves have their own problem. CDC got a serious problem that you guys will hear it later on. But the CPP, when you bring four group of people together, four different groups, they all have an ambition, agenda, they all got different ideology, how to lead. And when they come together, they came up with a nice framework, one of the best documents so far that, in my belief, that put them together, that hold you together, that you cannot just leave easily. Because the goal here is to make George we are one-term president. It's the goal. But some people believe that because of the CPP crumbling and struggling to survive, the CPP is on what? A life support. So that means George we have a free ride. I want to say to you guys that's a big mistake. That's a lie. President we don't have a free ride. CDC thing is that if everybody goes on their own, nobody can win the first round. They will be looking at the second round. But what CDC failed to realize that they might not make it in the second round. But CDC have a strategy that if we go in the second round with certain individual, our chances of winning is around 80%. But if we go into the second round with a particular individual, our chances of winning is hard. But it's possible that CDC may not make the first round. It's possible. But they still have an advantage to get into the second round because they control most of the stuff. So they can do all the cheating to get into that second round. So, and the UP believe that they can get into the second round, and when they get into the second round, Liberians will say, listen, we'll have to vote for Joe Barker. We'll have to vote for the seat with the UP. I don't want to call no name right now because I'm not too sure if Joe Barker will be the standard bearer for UP. Or I'm not too sure if UP will be on the ticket. Now, so that's how people, people in, one thing I know about Liberians, we bring things out the way we think about it. You know, like someone called me yesterday, said, oh, don't you know that Tier 1 Gonglo already agreed to go as vice standard bearer to Joe Barker? I said, wow. He said, someone just called him from Liberia. I said, the person that called you from Liberia, what they said? Who they supporting? Oh, this person was supporting UP. Now they say they're supporting ANC and all kind. He's still part of the CPP. Liberians. I don't believe these things. Tier 1 Gonglo coming from a political party, LPP. LPP might not be able to get on the ballot because of their past records. But if Tier 1 Gonglo, LPP will merge with Liberty or Unity Party or with Joseph Boaka, there will be long conversation because LPP will want to know what they're getting. If we take the second slot, what there for us? These guys are progressive. They're not just going to say, okay, because Tier 1 going around on a party name. So it's not overnight thing. So guys, don't say you're taking Tier 1. But the Unity Party guys, that's how they think. Oh, we're going to get Tier 1. We're going to get this. Listen, it's possible that they might not get nobody to join them because people already see the greediness of them. They said Mr. Cummings greedy, but what about them? Now let's go back to the CPP. The CPP, we still got two parties in the CPP that have not left yet. Liberty Party is still there. ANC is still there. ALP sent in their request to leave. United Party sent a request to leave. Let us not fool ourselves. There will be no name called Unity Party to go on its own. Unless they will have to go to the Supreme Court to interpret the law for them. Individual getting out of an organization, it is your right. As a Liberian, it is your right to associate and disassociate. It is your right. Nobody going to take it from you. So Mr. Bwaka can leave. Yure can leave. But organization came together and signed a simple document. And we all know what bothering them is because they cannot go to the convention, to the primary, Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings will defeat Mr. Bwaka or whosoever in the CPP because Mr. Cummings did his homework. We have been doing it. We have been going around talking to people. Look, the only way even President Weah and the Joe Bwaka will win election in Liberia if we do not campaign, if we do not make our case, they will win because Liberians will only be looking at the old guys. So let us not fool ourselves. Good evening to all, and let us not fool ourselves that Liberian people just sitting and waiting because Joe Bwaka came second, so this time he will come third and first, or because Ellen went two-term, so it is the right of CDC to go two-term. No, 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 no. Liberians are different people. They gave you two-term in the Constitution. The first term is for the people that voted for you because they don't know if you're going to be good or not. They voted for you based on maybe your popularity, they like you, they voted for you. The second term, based on your work, what you're doing or what you did good will determine your victory. Let me tell you guys today. Okay, we'll start a check. George Weah did some good stuff. What he did? Oh, Joshua paved the road. Yes. Oh, Joshua build market. Okay. Security zero. To protect the Liberian people zero. Our children are dying from rape and killing and all kinds of things zero. Creating jobs zero. Education zero. Agriculture zero. What else? Health zero. Are we going to be wasting our time that because to build roads we should kill all the Liberians because of building roads? We should deprive our citizens of their basic needs? No, they got short term and long term. You know, there's a saying that says, "Drive me sweet." But what will you be eating until the meat get dry? Because you want to build roads and what people should suffer. They can't go to school. They can't go to hospital. There is no law and order. Citizens are taking matter into their hands now. Citizens are killing criminals now. Why the government supposed to protect the people? You think Liberians will sit there and give you another 6 years? Wow. I really want to see it. I really want to see that. I really, really want to see that. Corruption is at the highest. People are stealing this electricity. We all know what's going on in electricity. We know what's going on with LEC. That the government cannot even take no action because the government enjoying the facilities that other people are not. That's why everybody's stealing. The ordinary man stealing light. The big dude not paying his share, but they say he's not stealing, but he's not paying light bill. The president men are using free current while ordinary people stealing current. You see? So all these things, the government can't handle themselves. They can't law and order nothing. They all say Liberians should rally around. Liberia cannot just rally around when the government themselves not even rallying around the people. Eh? So the government can even protect the people. So you see, when we check all these things, you got more failing marks than passing mark. So you fail. So Liberians will vote for change no matter what. You put Mr. Cummings together and you put George Weah. If anybody under my life here today telling me that you put Mr. Cummings and George Weah, close that door. Mr. Cummings, Mr. Weah will win. I think you're sleeping. You are sleeping. Maybe you still living in 2020, you still living in 2017. Close that door for me. You still living in 2017. And this is 2022 going to 2023. Liberians have eyes they can see. The young people that we're talking about today, the young people, our future leaders, they can see. They know what's going on. You understand? So all these things. Now I know some people want to hear about the court case. Guys, I personally will not think about the court case because you know what? They can never win. So people say, oh, they will drag the case. They can drag it like a communal walking. They can drag it. In fact, they can go like 2 miles per hour or 1 mile per hour on that case. They own them. They can't win the case. They would never come up with a case. They stay struggling how to start. We still waiting for hearing. There's no hearing yet. And even the text messages that Mr. Ure turned over to 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 the Solicitor General, the text message against Ure and his friends. You understand? I listened to this lady on Voice Matter, one of the executive committee members on the CPP. She said Darius Dillon and others should have been they are the one who's supposed to come out and start to speak. But guys, we all know the lie from the beginning. There was no 5 copies. No document existed. The document they're requesting for, you can never be found nowhere. We all know that because they know that they cannot defeat Mr. Cummings at the ballot box, that is why Mr. Walker doing all these things. Now, UP, some of the UP people are complaining. Listen, we're not getting versed with Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker got it right to go. That's his right. But for a man with wisdom, The man that we say he got too much brain cannot even put four political parties together and make peace. That whole country, no. But let me say this. Why if we're coming to get four candidates, Yombly contesting, Ure contesting, Mr. Cummings, and Mr. Boaka, what was really going to happen? Let me ask you. You think by this time somebody finish killing their friend? Eh? And my people, Yombly is not in the race. Mr. Boaka is not in the race. And Mr. Cummings, Ure is not in the race. Yombly says she's supporting Mr. Boaka is no problem. Belete supporting Mr. Cummings is a problem. Who gave you guys the right that you should decide for somebody else? Then you say we went into Liberty Party and destroyed Liberty Party. Ask yourself the question. Yombly, Ure, Zago, they supported Mr. Boaka. Belete and others say we will support Mr. Cummings. Why you're mad? What in there that you suppose you supposed to get pissed off about? Tell me, what there you're supposed to get pissed off for? You got all these people who supporting Boaka. The leaders, they all supporting Boaka. Then the other people support Mr. Cummings, your vest. When the other people can support Mr. you say Mr. Cummings bribing. When they go this way, they'll say Mr. Cummings this. What your problem? Then you'll say Mr. Cummings greedy. Eh? Mr. Boaka knew about everything that was going on. He's the one that in the back just instigating the same thing he did to Ellie. They removed Ellie, they expelled Ellie. He pretended as if he never knew nothing about it. Mr. Boaka is not a leader. When we start to go into Mr. Boaka record, Liberian people will feel bad, my people. Liberian people will feel bad. Mr. Boaka is not a criminal. Mr. Boaka is not corrupt. But the people who around Mr. Boaka are corrupt. We can call their names. And Mr. Boaka know that they are corrupt. You think he don't know? Because he's not the one that going to take it. We can lean things on all the information that coming out now about Mr. Boaka. We just waiting. Let Mr. Boaka get on the ticket. Let him be on the ballot. This time around, y'all will feel bad. And y'all say Mr. Boaka said the last election, after the election, the pressure made him to go to the hospital. This one will be terrible. This one. Why Mr. Boaka can tell us today, we just got the information that Mr. Boaka received money from Mentor Steel too. He received pickups. Why they can't tell the people that? Why they can't tell the people that all the duty free that Mr. Boaka was using to free people continue, they were using his office. People use duty free to free things through Mr. Boaka office. Personal things. We got all that information. We got all that information. Even his campaign manager, Henry Costa, he paid money to Henry Costa for a container that he robbed someone of and a woman, and Henry Costa was going after him and had to pay Henry Costa. Why they can't talk about that? We all know that case. You see what happened now? Everybody coming up with the information for this man. He seemed close associate. Eh? Now more Ali telling people that if I go testify, I will say this, I will speak the truth. Why you can't speak the truth now? I'm not going to testify on the oath. If I go there, I will just say the truth. When all of them were behind Mr. Cummings because they think that the Mr. Cummings just got money to just dash over there. Eh? You know why? You know why CPP is to a standstill? Because there's no money to run CPP. They ain't pay their dues. Unity Party, ALP have not paid 1 cent of their dues. And these are the troublemakers. Please like the video, man. These are the troublemakers. They lied to the Liberian people. When Ure stood up the other day and said, if any one of us leave this party, I'm going to hold us responsible. I will play a tape for you guys to listen to Ure talking about Mr. Cummings and the ANC. When we tell you guys that the ANC is the fastest growing political party in Liberia. In fact, when he made that statement, it was 2 years ago. ANC is the most organized political party in Liberia compared to any party. But because at the time they thought Mr. Cummings was so new, they still living in a fantasy world. They think Liberians are stupid people. Liberians will vote based on what? Oh, Mr. Cummings is not likable. Mr. Cummings is not this. Mr. Cummings is not the one. The people elect Mr. Cummings. That's a lie. They're fooling you every day with the whole Facebook thing here. They're fooling you every day. They will send the news from Liberia because they know we on Facebook. Then they transmit it to us here, and then we look at it. When they call, they say, "Oh, this other person like Boaka. Oh, Boaka popular." The only way Mr. Boaka will be popular unless we don't campaign. If we don't campaign, Mr. Boaka will be popular. If we don't campaign, Mr. Weah will win the election. But as long as we campaign, Mr. Weah will never win this election. I can tell anybody that. Maybe you're seeing something different because you think Liberians are still stupid. Yes, people say, "Oh, you're staying in America there." Oh, they no, 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 no. They're hearing also. Don't let nobody fool you. Not everybody on Facebook, but majority, some of the people in Morovia can see it and they send it to their friends then too. Oh yes. Now, who they will talk to? When the president go around, he talk to the chief. So I tell person, what you getting? What you worried for? President, we are getting the chief's motorbike. That just one vote. This time, the chiefs in Liberia cannot convince ordinary Liberian. Don't let nobody fool you. The market chief, the president for the Liberian Marketing Association, cannot convince one market woman to vote for President Weah. Oh, you people don't know that la thing there. Look, the first let me open your mind. The Liberian Marketing Association, the people that are in the market, they all from different areas. They're not going to vote in that market. I saw it for myself. 2018, I went to the Jobbertown market. When I went to campaign, the woman told me, she was watching me. She said, "Oh," I asked, I said, "Can I see the president of the Library the Market Association of Jobbertown, Nesse Bido?" The woman said, "Oh, she's not here, but she's the one I was talking to." So I said, "Okay, I just want to see her because I will be in the market, And I start to go from table to table. And one lady called me. I can still remember that woman. The woman said, "My son, come here." She said, "You know why watching you?" She said, "That woman are the president." I said, when she said, "When you thought the woman at the president," I said, "Oh, for true." I went back to her. She said, "Well, just watch it because everybody who won't run campaign when they come, they go straight in the office. The other person can't get back or rest. They will go to the big people, the Library Marketing Association, and get them money." She said, "The people can tell who to vote for." She said, "No president can tell us who to vote for." She said, "There's one, she's the president for the market, but she can't tell who to vote for." When you pull onto campaign, you'll go from table to table and talk to us. We don't want to know the problem yet. So when you see the president going to the chiefs and get a motorbike, it's for themselves that they won one vote. They will not tell the people that those days are over. Those days are over. Where they say the chief can call the people and say, "Oh, your vote is over, man. Pa, it's over." Don't let nobody fool you. President Weah can give all the chiefs and give the representative and give every one of them car. It's over. I can tell anybody that Liberians are not stupid people anymore. If you don't believe in Liberians, you better start believing in them now. Believe in them now. The young children, those who are 13 years old, 14, 15, 16, some of them now they're 18, some of them will be turning 18 next year. They will vote. Some of them out of high school, some of them in colleges, they will vote. They will vote, and most of the children they are disappointed in George Weah already. The young people are disappointed in President Weah. Look, CDC, Congress for Democratic Change, still got the members. Some of the good ones gone. Some of them stay hanging on. They say, "Well, maybe when the paper win again, I'll get my chopping." No, don't let them fool you. Look, you chase black car in the day, you don't find it, you can't find it in the night. Liberia is so small. This president going 4 years, going to public schools right now is $6,000, $7,000 Liberian dollar, and parents can't afford it. Parents can't afford it. Ask any government official in that country who got their children in Liberia. Ask them which are the school they're going to. Every one of them going to private school. But our people, they can't afford it to send their children to public schools. Public school. Because what? Mismanagement. They gave more money to themselves and they forget about the public schools. They sing song whole day about the public schools. They don't even have decks. President we say, oh, I'm gonna buy 1 million decks. He's the procurement officer. Eh? When the president get up in the morning, no agenda. Mr. Cummings got a blueprint and agenda. He's the only candidate in Liberia who can tell you what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what we can work with. This is how I believe that we can come from this point to that point. Infrastructure, create jobs. Government can employ everybody, but government got to open avenues for companies to come in and be brave enough not to take the money from them, not to go and sit at the place there. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, you must tell your people, speak the truth. You can't live in America. I see some people leave from here. They criticize the people. When they go there, they dine with the people. Let me say this, and I want to clear this, Rocket. I don't care who Spoon talk to. I will not refuse or request from the president to sit with him. But I can tell anybody that is what you get from there and how you're going to present it out there again. You look at the entire Spoon delegation, you will know, not because Frances is a ANC woman. She sat with them. She says, all right. Even Mr. Cummings said it over and over. If the president call me and invite me, I will go there. Going there ain't mean I'm supporting you. The president know. But my only problem here is that why should the president take 4 hours, 35 minutes of his time that he's supposed to be to work to sit in a place? And I bet you they were just sitting, talking, lecturing, lecturing. It's not that they were having interview. Even you take President we are with Joe Biden, right? They cannot spend 4 hours. It was on a working day. But it still matter because you know what? The president still do things on a working day and don't go to work. You know what I'm saying? But these are the same people who criticize President Weah. And let me see if they will criticize President Weah for the 4 hour, 35 minutes. But we all know, we said it every day, it's okay for Keith Hassan. Keith Hassan said, come on, man. The president left his office to come see the common people. Keith Hassan said he a common man. Keith Hassan, who lived in America for 35 years, he lived in Washington, in Maryland. He said he common man. President Weah left his office and came to the hotel to see Keith Hassan because he's a common man. Is that the common people there? Are common people there? Steno Waterspoon are common man. Keith Hassan are common man. When was the president, when the last time the president went to sit at the attire place and drink attire? Say you said a common man. Eh? You are not common. The president want to use you, he wants to see you, he want you guys to know his story and to go and explain whether he gave you the right story. You took everything he said. The first thing, if I were part of the Spoon delegation, President, we are going to be the last person to see. I was going to go around, get all the necessary information from the Liberian people, see where the suffering is. Then I go and sit down with the president to talk and say things because that's your job. I see them hawking people in the Senate. They criticize Vani Shema. I see the CEO hawking the Vani Shema and talking his ear and this and that. Listen, it is their right. They want to run for anything, they can do it. I don't care. But the fact of the matter is that Liberians will judge everybody. I'm not saying that they can't sit with the president, but I believe our president got too much time on his hands. They were not in an interview. They were not going through an interview. I'm not trying to be sarcastic in the radar why the president was with them. The president can meet them. He can talk. The president can go to them. It's not nothing. Go and meet somebody. It's not nothing. President Doe have done it so many times. Charter did it. Mr. Cummings have done it. So I would not even applaud President Weah to say, oh yeah, President Weah went there to see them. It's not nothing. It's up to him. It's not a record. It's nothing strange to nobody. It's only strange to Keith Hassan. It's strange to Keith Hassan because Keith Hassan, nothing wrong with George Weah. Nothing wrong with the George Weah government. So to him, it's a big plus that President Weah can drive there. Listen, but I think the time was too long. And then they said, oh, we'll be having an interview with the president again. And we'll be playing football with the president again. But I believe 4 hours, 35 minutes was a very long time. Even when you're running an ad, 30 minutes, they people pay millions of dollars for 30 for what? For 30 seconds or 1 minute. Eh? For the president to sit on a working day, even if he were explaining his life story, he will explain his life story in 1 hour. The president gave a state of a nation address and spent 2 hours, almost 3 hours, on a whole nation address. Things that happen in 1 year, the president explained in 2 hours, 45 minutes. But the president took 4 hours, 35 minutes to sit with people and chill. I can go to a party and spend 5 hours because we're chilling and drinking, we're eating. I can go to a gathering where there is nothing serious and spend more hours. So let me ask Spoon, if somebody were writing a story, that is a story that you will write. Say, I can't believe we sat with the president for 4 hours, 35 minutes. The only thing we talk about, the president just explained how people lie on him, how the president versed. The president said they lie on him for his daughter, for his wife. He didn't like the way they were acting. And he talked to Timberlake. He said, but yeah, Timberlake, yeah, I want to talk to Timberlake. Timberlake criticized me before, and people don't know me. I pay my gay school fee. Where you pay my gay school fee? And this and that, and all kinds of things. You know, some of us who knew President Weah never knew George Weah. And I'm sorry, and Maggie. Nobody can tell me that. Even Akaras Gray never knew George Weah. He heard, yeah, he know George Weah, don't get me. But friends, when George Weah was playing for IE, Akara Gray was nowhere because I was near. I used to sit in IE bus from Yes Transport on the football field. I used to be with IE through. I remember when they dress it, they bring a big burger from the Chinese from Burger King. They used to dress right when George Weah, when Manem Peter was coach, because Sitori left and Sitori was coach what 85. Then Manem Peter came in 86 and 87. They used to dress right to Yes Transport. I used to practice on LEC fee, behind LEC fee there. That time Sam Burnett was manager for Electricity Corporation, LEC. You know what I'm saying? So I just see Akaras Gray on the football field to say he know George Weah. When George Weah gave the money to University of Liberia, Maggie said that George Weah paid his school fees in 2000. In what? He said 1984. I mean, the guy didn't get loud. I said Liberian people can lie so much. Even the money that George Weah gave to University of Liberia in the bus, if anybody can remember, when George Weah came from Europe and then he got a first leg contract, he gave that $5,000. He gave them one bus and whatsoever. That money now we say that Joe we have paid all Gaffon them to university at the time. So all of them enjoy it. That the one they gave me all kind of excuses how Joe we are help people and Dr. Peabody was in that meeting. Peabody was in refugee camp. Peabody saw Joe we are in refugee camp one day. But like Brumpo still say, oh, we love the man. So he gave them that story. So all that story, if George Weah were explaining his life story, I think Spoon need to write a book on George Weah. 4 hours, 35 minutes. You can explain from the day your man got pregnant. 4 hours, 35 minutes. And still you're in interview the president? And you're still waiting for Sunday to interview the president? No. That only enjoyment. There was nothing bad, but that only enjoyment that they were on. Eating, drinking, and they're talking, they say, oh yeah, we're eating, the president eat with us, we're on the same table, and this and that. You're big people. You're big people. Even you carry Roland Martin. Roland Martin will have the same time. Even you call Roland Martin now to sit with Mr. Weah for 4 hours, 35 minutes, he will write 7 books. He will write 7 books. You know what I'm saying? And what we can see, we see them with all the pictures with Mr. Cummings sitting down having a conversation. You can know they're having a conversation. But we see no picture with Day and George, we are having a conversation. We saw the picture, they stood up and everybody taking picture. But in the gathering, sitting down, how you look. Then they're spending time with one of the big people. Yes, they're still going around that one at the political stunt now. That the political stunt they're going through all the things. But anyway, it's not bad. They are big people. Spoon is a big TV. They got 3 relations, but I will be honest to everybody that Spoon, I consider them now as a propaganda arm of the government. because Spoon will not even want to give us airtime. They will not give us airtime to use their services. They will come and cover our program. But if we ask Spoon right now that we want to pay for a special airtime for opposition to air the show, they will give us excuse. I'm saying it publicly, and I don't know lie. I'm not lying about it. You can tell them right now and say, okay, how much it will pay for us to come on air? It will cost us $150 per hour. They will tell us no. But they will come to our program, but they will not use the service for us to criticize the government. They will not do that. They will not do that. Mr. I would like to see Frances now, as of today's date, that of Frances, she must act like an opposition on that show. We want to see how strong she's going to be because the show is nothing, it's not neutral anymore. I think that the Frances need to speak out now on the Spoon show to defend Mr. Cummings throughout, like Mr. like Keith Hassan. Then let's see if Stinter going to take her off the show. I'm not talking about Ben Senvi. I'm not talking about P. I'm not talking about or what his name said and Timberlake George. But Dr. Frances needs to stand up now and defend Mr. Cummings throughout on the show. Anything I got to do with ANC, she need to speak out. This is not the time to say I want to be objective and let's see what's going to happen. Because Keith Hassan do not have his feeling. Keith Hassan do not have his feeling when it comes to George Weah and when it comes to CDC. He defend them 24/7. And they got a minister or active minister, an active minister playing a role there to defend and speak for the government. So let's see what they're going to do with that Frances. They can't put me in that show there. Because they put me in that show, nothing will come from my mouth. It will be only Eric's Cummings. Anything I will do for Eric's Cummings to win, I will say. By the time they want to say this, but Stanton will not agree. So because Dr. Frances tried to be neutral, she tried to, you can't, I tell people, you can't do that. So we're watching them to see. We want to see what Dr. Frances is going to do. But we need not to blame her because she sat with President Weah. No. There's nothing wrong with her sitting with President Weah. She can stay with President Weah for the 24 hours, fine. That her president, whether we like it or not, Joe is the president of Liberia. That means I can't campaign against him. He's the president. We respect that. He's the president. We must give him the respect for now until his time is over. But he's the president. You know what I'm saying? So all we need to do is to continue to preach. If we don't give the message, they will win. If we don't give the message, they will win. So let me just change my topic a little bit and listen to some of the good and stupid statement that people making. And one thing we'll say again, one of our biggest problem in Liberia, most of our Liberians don't read. It's not that they're not educated, they are very educated, but they don't read an entire page. What I'm saying now, people will believe it and they will just follow it. So that is the advantage most of our politicians take on it. They will read it and explain it to you. And when they read it, they explain it, then you understand. And some of them, because of our lack of knowledge, you see, people think that knowledge is the paper that they gave you from that school, the degree. They think that knowledge is not. Because it's sad for some people to still believe that the framework was tampered with. It's sad for people to believe. Why you think a court? Let me ask you something. You think if it was a real thing, you think by this time the court have now, you think that this time the Solicitor General have now started the case to say, listen, we got to go into the case? But because they got no proof, they got nothing to start it. This is the first time in the history of any government who say, I want to prosecute you for criminal act, but I still I don't have a document to prove to prosecute you. But then when I see other Liberians, so you see, our problem in Liberia, the problem is ourselves. And where it comes from? It comes from the so-called educated people. The so-called educated people, these are the people who have all these problems. Like Ezekiel S. Wilson, he said about you saying Mr. Cummings used gold finger to finger the CPP document. You see, like Ezekiel Wilson, these are the people we're talking about. He went to school, he got a degree, but he stayed dumb. He stayed a dumb Liberian who don't understand. If you ask him one thing, what in that document are you think the finger? He don't know. He will say, Heron Costa say, Ure say. These are the Liberians who are dumb that causing a problem for Liberia. We got so many dumb Liberians. And listen to me. Some people can say, oh, you know, we need everybody. Do you know in a democratic process, do you know that they say to win in a democratic process, you must have majority? And what make a majority is one. 50% plus one. 50% of that vote plus one, you win. They're not telling you you should get 100%. No. They ain't say 90%. They say 50 plus one. So people like Ezekiel Wilson is not people that you talk to convince him, because when your mind is black and made up, there's nothing I can do about it. The only thing, you listen to us when the show is over, you will say, oh, the guy, their guy says some things, but I got a stupid guy. Yes, because you already decide who. But you see, like people like us, I can criticize Mr. Cummings when it's necessary, but there's nothing Mr. Cummings do for me to criticize him. George Weah, who's supposed to be a friend of mine, I criticize him because you know what? I love Liberia more than George Weah. I love Liberia than George Weah. I could stay there, I could stay with George Weah, enjoy myself, and go sit down. But I love my country because the people who there, I'm not better than them. Like Mr. Wilson, who will only make a statement and say he from the gold finger, he finger. So most of them love fingering too. But that's a good thing. But Wilson, just stay and watch what I'm saying here, because sometimes it's a good thing you might learn again. Then he said, you fight it. Why Edwin say, you're right. It is called generation change, just how they came to power with those. Yes, you're right. And Edwin, you are very, very right. Yep. And Spoon is discussed. This guy, CDC network. Everybody going to say so because people watch it. So if you hear Liberian criticizing Spoon right now, I don't blame them, because people felt that the way they used to be on the show and they criticize, people thought that they were going to do the right thing. But my man, as far as I'm concerned, she is compromised. See you later. Say as far as he's concerned, Frances has been compromised. But and see you later. That's your view. But I think we can. But listen, while we stay talking, let me play you this tip of Mr. Ure telling you about the Unity Party and the ANC. And on the same tip, Mr. Ure criticizing the Supreme Court, that the Supreme Court is useless. They are not trustworthy. But there's the same man who took his friend and to the Supreme Court. So you please listen to Ure, I beg you.
Alice Cummings is head of a political party, and a major political party, and one of the fastest growing political parties in Liberia. If the chairman of their party can attack the standard bearer of another political party, and the justice minister sits idle and allows it to happen and accuse them of trying to assassinate the president, accuses them of even arming people and training soldiers. No,
Let
we
me go.
and a major political party attacking other political leaders. We all right. It's all right with us. But what we're saying here, we are head of a political party, and a major political party. And Joe Boyka is head of a political party and a major political party. Also, Charles Bronson is head of a political party and a major political party. Ellis Cummings is head of a political party and a major political party and one of the fastest growing political parties in Liberia. If
You hear that? Eh? It was not by mistake. And we say these things every day. Mr. Cummings, the ANC is the fastest growing political party in Liberia. You know when he said that thing? It was in 2019 that when that statement was made. So I said it over and over. Mr. Cummings, ANC is well organized. We will continue to speak the truth. We will continue. If we lose the election, so be it. I will tell you guys today that we have handful of corrupt politicians. They're not majority. Don't let nobody fool you. But they play with the system. They manipulate the system. They use the system because they make money and they go down to our poor people and give it to them and use them. But thank God that we make George Weah president, because George Weah was like a black dark cloud over Liberia. If George Weah was never going to be president, everybody believed that George Weah was the answer. And he proven to us that President Weah is not the answer of Liberia. You know what I'm saying? We President Weah arrived in Liberia yesterday, around, in fact, this morning. At the same time, Royal Morocco, Air Morocco was trying to land in Liberia, but there was no light. So disgrace. There was no light at the airport, but the president landed this morning from Europe, and they had light there. And but every day we complain, we continue to get generators. We continue to get it. But when you say these things, they say, "What about Ellie?" We love to play the blame game. We love to blame other people. Oh, what about Ellie? Ellie was there for 12 years. She didn't do nothing. That's not the point. You saw this woman with 15 children, and you say you want to marry the woman. And when you decide to marry this woman, you must take care of more children. You saw the problem of Liberia. You see what's going on. So because you want to be president, you must take responsibility of Liberian problem. That is why Mr. Cummings, when he go around, he carry his small little notepad. That is why Mr. Cummings continue to tell us, say, this is what Liberia needs. And I will tell you, any nation, education is not the first on the agenda. Health is not the first on the agenda. People don't understand. Electricity, good drinking water, security is the first thing that you worry about for any good nation. Because the first thing you need current. When you get electricity, other companies will come to your country and do business. They don't have to be worried about generator. They will create jobs. If you get a good schools, they need light. Internet connectivity, because nowadays, for you to explore to other countries to know what's going on, technology, you need internet, good internet, to bring jobs, to outsource jobs into your country. We got a fiber optic in, like, bro, what are we doing? Certain people using it, and we're not selling it yet. Security. When they talk about security, it's not just to secure your people. You got to protect the man that coming with his money. You got to protect the man money. When the man brings his $5 million, $10 million, $50 million, you should be able to protect it, or you even match it. But we're not doing that. Then, because if you got all these things, then you look at what agriculture bring money into. You have to have a good, not just agriculture to go buy what the thing is and hog and fertilizer. No, we're talking about mega agriculture, things that will produce, that will bring money to the country. Then you get education, because you need all these things. You need light in the schools. You need internet in the schools. You need all these things. Then people will get sick. They might go to hospital. You need a good hospital. It's not for your official to just get on the plane and go to Ghana. How you think other people started? Liberia, a small little nation, small country with a lot of resources. Lot. But all our officials just get rich. People come with businesses. Some of them get 2%, 3%, 5%. Because that's how the system is working. But because the system works like that, we should continue with the system like that? No. No. President, we have criticized Ellen Johnson government for corruption. Even Ellie admitted that her government was corrupt. She could not fight corruption easily. And when it came to uniting the country, no, she failed. So what is government doing? They're failing. They failed to unite Liberia. Liberia is more divided than ever in our history. Yeah. We stay crying about Congo and country. We stay talking about sedition and other people. The president himself speaks to only his party members. When was the last time the president invited opposition to his house for dinner? When was the last time the president invited opposition to say, come, let's sit and talk? President Weah can do all the good things come 2018 and 2023, they will contest against him. That's the rules. That's the law. That's the beauty of democracy. Eh? Ellie never wanted to suppress President Weah when she was for president. She tried to convince him, yes, but she never went after him to say they must arrest him, they must take him to court. Eh? And some people think that the Supreme Court will make a decision to send Mr. Cummings to jail. Let me make you understand. Even if they want to be wicked, Mr. Cummings will be on the ballot come 2023. It's a misdemeanor. It's not a case that you can deprive anyone from contesting. You understand? I'm only saying this to educate most of our fools who think that anybody can just jump up and say, yes, it's possibility you can send Mr. Cummings to jail. I will accept that. But sending Cummings to jail will not stop the process. Sending Mr. Cummings to jail will not stop the process. What you guys need to be doing, who's supporting President Weah, why don't y'all go up and calm down? You see, America is our big brother. The entire world respect America. Okay. Now, let me just a comment just came through my eyes. You see, some of the things we talk when we say Liberian people, most of us are jealous people. You got Willie. Willie said, come in Liberia. Since you love Liberia. Willie, you myself will not go through some talking because from your speech, from your comment, you are a jealous man. I never stopped you from coming to America. I know maybe you never had the opportunity, or maybe you had the opportunity and you went back. But let me make you to understand on this platform. I'm not one of those who came to America 1974 and stay sitting here. Don't worry about the gray hair here. Don't worry about the beautiful and nice hair on me and my nice body. Don't mind. You understand? But maybe I love Liberia more than you. Maybe I'm doing good in Liberia more than you. Maybe I got more influence in Liberia more than you. So you don't worry about people going there. And you that make this statement, I bet you now when you check, you got relatives in Liberia that in America that you harass every day for money. So if all the Liberians even go back, what you want to do? So you will harass them and what? And rob them in the night? Will it be a smart kid? You know what I'm saying? Be smart and put something good for us to be able to. Okay, Ezekiel, me read saying, he said, Chief, no, I was trying to respond to some. Okay, Ezekiel, I'm very sorry. I feel causing you already. Listen, if you're responding on this page, respond so respond so we can know who you're talking to. So Ezekiel, in this public manner, I want to say I am sorry for responding to you in a way that I shouldn't have done it. Yeah. Okay, so you're talking about Goldfinger. Okay, so you're talking to somebody. Okay. Yeah, he's making his case for ANC while other so-called talk show hosts been causing with yes, we got to make the case. Listen, I might sometimes go across, I'm gonna go overboard, call people stupid and whatsoever, but it ain't mean I'm talking to you guys that watching me. I just say we sometimes stupid. When I say stupid, I add myself there because we make some decision that right. Look, I'm not going to spend my time be wasting my time on Joe Barker. I'm not going to spend my time and just waste my time on certain things that are not necessary. I'm not going to waste my time on the Spoon TV going to Liberia meeting President. But I gave a point that the time you spend with President Weah, I think you should have the interview and come out and tell Liberian people this is what we discussed, this is what we discussed. But I don't want to hear you telling me that you and the president ate together. I don't want to hear you telling me that, oh, the president said this, the president gave you false info. Oh, you know the president said he worried about the Liberian people. Stanton went on Nukuta and told the people that he said, we spent 4 hours, 35 minutes, and the president said when he home, he think about you every day. So Stanton now indirectly running a campaign for the presidency, the president thinking about you. Are you there to tell the people the president thinking about you? Why the president can't go to the people and go to them and say, I think about you every day. But the president sent Spoon. So we look at Spoon Spoon got when you know that the advantage is, but you get one more from ANC, you got one more from you got another person from CDC. So that's why the other pocket the UP people say that Spoon got ANC and CDC, and they are right. They are right. But Stanton too was supporting Mr. Boaka before. You know what I'm saying? He tried to negotiate where Mr. Comey should be second to Mr. Boaka and all these things. Eh, but, my people, please, we shouldn't fool ourselves. To find a better leader, we must argue, we must make the case. It is time now Liberians start to ask a good question. What can you do for Liberia? Show me your platform, my brother. Promise me. Let me see what you say you can do. You know what I can tell President Joy we are? President we are never went to no debate. President we are never came out with any agenda. And I challenge anybody because the pro-poor agenda came out 9 months into President we are presidency. The pro-poor for prosperity, it came out. And yet instead they're not going with it. They're not even going by it. Because in that agenda that we saw, that particular program, if they were to apply it, the common man was going to enjoy. In that thing that they put together, if they're going to apply what they put on paper, the Liberian people were going to enjoy. But what happened? President Weah can get up every morning and decide the government fate. He can get up and say, oh, I saw one empty land down the road. I want to go put one small park there. That's how we develop. That's how we do it. He look at, and people think that Monrovia is not Liberia. We are giving everything to the people in Monrovia and forgetting the other counties. Not because they put in one day road passing by. We put in everything. We having all the celebration. We having everything. Let me ask you something. You know, people think that sometimes we don't like Liberia. The bicentennial. You think that only people in Monrovia should enjoy it? Let me ask you today. Why they couldn't celebrate in Nima County too? Why they couldn't have something in Grand Jide? Why they couldn't have something in Maryland? Why it should be only Monrovia? Why it should be only Monrovia? You tell me. Why? Look, do you know why President Kwame Nkrumah went to Saniquale when they had the OU something? Where they went there? Saniquale. Saniquale. You know, sometimes we worry about what you don't have it, you don't have it. You don't have to brag to kind show American man your executive mansion. You show that the American man want to see your culture. You want to see that it was pro-planning. You listen to Roland Martin. Roland Martin said that Ghana took 4 years to plan their program. 4 years. They build what they want to go. We could even take these people to Maryland. We could take them to Nima County, Grand Bassa County. But you brother, oh, you pin the street. You should say, yeah, you can't enjoy to the executive mansion. Oh, yeah, the executive mansion enjoying, everybody enjoy. Oh, yeah, the president doing good. Oh, the president first time go to the executive mansion. The president poured light to the executive mansion. You think that what we eat? Eh? Let the people come and see. And you put it in their faces. That listen, the war that took place in Liberia, our people started from America. They were in America, they planned a war and they brought war to our country, and they're doing the same thing. So, no matter as much as you don't like us, do not allow Liberians in America to trouble war. So that the war, you remember when we're killing each other here, Bill Clinton refused to put American soldiers on the ground. Y'all know the importance between Liberia and America? We love America more than the Middle East love America. We have more love for America than anything. That is why Liberia, the American embassy, never closed in Liberia. With all the things that are going on, Liberians never try it. Not a one day there will be any kind of terrorist attack in Liberia to the embassy. Because we love America. Y'all don't say it though. Yes, but you're blunder. You're still begging the people. You're too American and see you're clean. You want to pretend like you get. Liberian people love to pretend like we got it. You broke like church, right? You still be able to pretend that you get something. Eh? Your country is terrible. The children are going to school, but you still pretend as if, oh yes, our country is good. When the people come, you carry them to a place, they have a good time. You think they care? They will still tell you what you're doing wrong. You listen to the lady who represented Joe Biden. She still spoke and said, listen, with all the situation, your anti-corruption commission, they are the worst. They get explain the thing, they get dead, y'all. Eh? You think the people don't know the people know everything for your country about more than yourself. They know everything about Liberia. How terrible the country is. But yet I say we blame. They blame Mr. Cummings for them failing the MCC thing. Everything they blame Mr. Cummings. No one individual can tell any country not to support you. If you're doing good, they will support you. If you're doing good, America will give you the aid that you deserve. If you're not doing it good, because why? They got ambassador there to tell you. They got people on the ground to tell you. Nobody need to tell American ambassador that, oh, you know, the way they treated Mr. Cummings is not right. Nobody need to tell him. The people know. They know. You don't have a political prisoner, but indirectly you got political prisoners. Indirectly you got political prisoners. They're not in jail, but you're trying to use the court system to destroy them. You try to use the court system. Eh? The laws of Liberia, no other rules or whatsoever supersede the Constitution of Liberia. Nowhere. In America, they take you for criminal charges and what they must investigate and charge you. You can't charge a man because you just get up and think you got authority. Like you just get up in the morning because somebody said they say. You charge Mr. Cummings and he going to court every day and you postponing the case and you have not started the case yet. You can still start the case and request for document you want. You can go to NEC. And at the same time, we got people in Liberia, in America, who causing the problem. Lying to Liberian people. You got Henry Costa lying to Liberians, causing the deaths of Liberians, and doing things to ordinary Liberian people just because you think you go against George Weah. No. You're supposed to understand your system. There's certain things you can say it will not damage no politician in Liberia. I can come on right here now and start saying all kinds of things, Mr. Cummings. It will not damage Mr. Cummings. But guess what's going to happen? If what I say is truth, that means I finish cutting my tie with Mr. Cummings. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we don't understand. We don't. I bet Mr. Cummings in 2016, and I haven't seen nobody and I haven't seen nobody that will convince me with even their platform. That is why I put more time. And sometimes I will say, "Oh, we damn greedy." Fine, we greedy. And let me make it clear. Because some people say, "Money, don't be saying." If the next government, one thing I will tell you, I will not go to Liberia to look for job. I will not go to Liberia to beg for job. If I'm in America and they call me, the government of Liberia call me and say, Muni, we need you to come and sweep for us because maybe the people in Liberia can sweep. And we saw you sweeping the other day. Can you come and train there and to sweep? I will go there. Let me make it clear. I will go there. It's not you looking for it. You're citizen, you got all right. You know the one I can't stand? By the time Mr. Cummings win, I go to Liberia. Then I can't see Mr. Cummings again. Then are they bribing people because I want particular job. That is the one I can't stand. Every Liberian, if they call you, they look for you, they bring you, that's it. There are people who will work in government that are not doing what I'm doing right now. I should get vexed? No. I'm not supposed to. Because it's not a contract that I signed to say, oh, because he's talking. There are people who don't talk. There are people in the background that are doing more work than me. There are people who doing more work. They got some people know how to write. They got some people know how to talk. They got some people know how to negotiate. So there are people in the background who will be doing more than me. It's not because my face up here, so that means I'm better than them. No. But they understand they're not better than me too. There are people that are sitting down, they're not even talking, they're not even thinking. They will bring them up. And don't be surprised. I mean, I might be in the same group where I could recommend somebody. I say, oh, and chief, You see that man over there, that person, this. That's it. So I don't get vexed who they appoint. But the problem, if you appoint someone and the person is not performing, there's nothing big about it. Tell them, say, listen, I think you're not doing the good because you're working for the Liberian people. And I will tell you for free, Cummins will not be one of those guys who will just give you a job and he know that you're not qualified for the job. You know what I'm saying? What Donald Trump did, he gave his daughter special assistant. He brought his son an advisor. That one is not a confirmation job. But you take somebody from nowhere who don't even never want to balance his own house budget and say you will make them and what the thing is finance minister or deputy minister for debt management and whatsoever. You got to vet them. You're taking corrupt people to do work. And some people to be friend at the last time we work in government. We know some people never work in government. Some people think that, oh man, when Mr. Cummings president, he would take the same old people. That lie. That's a lie. You can be the same old people, but you will get good record. Because you see, there's a book. Anybody, if you are a technician or engineer and you spend 10,000 hours on a job, you are a professional. 10,000 hours. You see why sometimes when they take over, when a new government comes, they look for older people. It's not because of the age. They look to see your experience, how long you spend in this field. You see, on election or elected officials, you are not elected based on your qualification. Liberians, let's get it straight. You are never elected because you got PhD or maybe you got an engineering degree or you got so. No, that's not what they elect you for. The people decide if they like you and you ought to convince them and they trust you. It's based on trust that this man will speak for us. They will elect you. But when you go to a government job, civil servant, you apply, they go through your resume. That's what they do. Now, if the president want to appoint you, the president now we have to know the kind of person he appointed. Although in Liberia we can, although in Liberia we can appoint people based on relationship with them too, and sometimes they don't qualify. When they get to the Senate, the president calls my man, just pass that amendment. But when the president appoints anyone, they got the people in the Senate now that's supposed to scrutinize you and say, "Oh my man, but you want to be the finance minister? You don't got to get. Nobody should tell you say you should get a economic degree. You should get your degree should be in economics or what? No. Based in administration, it's an administrative position. You don't need to be. You don't have to be a medical doctor to be the head of a health ministry. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to be a medical doctor to be the chief administrative officer at a hospital. You don't have to. You see, you just there to administer. You're there to control everything there. But the doctors sometimes make more money than you. But you, the boss, you the one control it. You the one doing everything. But in Liberia, you got to be a medical doctor. There's somebody say, oh, Kase going to join Mr. Boaka. Then Mr. Boaka will appoint Mr. And Dr. Kase as Minister of Health because that's the job he's looking for. Look at that kind of thing. Look at that. Look at that. Liberians, if we love our country, we should start thinking good. If we love our country, we should start being brave. We should get brave and tell the people the truth. The Liberian people voted for George Weah. It is not a mistake. It's what they saw. But if you vote for George Weah again, that means it's on you. First fool, that fool. Second fool is not a fool. You vote for the person for the first time. Either you want set record. You see, okay, Commissioner. American people voted for for Obama to set the record. They had some Republican who voted for Obama. But in the second term, that was the toughest election of Mr. Barack Obama. That was the toughest election ever for Barack Obama. The first one, everybody wanted to be part of the history. But because of his performance, because of what he did, the way he was carrying things, that is why people voted for him again. You know what I'm saying? So let us stop talking about The opposition, yes, the opposition was the vehicle that was to take us there. But if the vehicle break down, what you to do? It ain't break down yet, oh. Liberty Party and ANC can still keep that vehicle going because you only need two parties to be a coalition. Now, Unity Party have not left yet. They only say about Muff. Although Mr. Bwaka abandoned the coalition, Mr. Bwaka is not chairman anymore because I don't know if he's still the chairman. But Mr. Bwaka ran away. He escaped because Mr. Bwaka don't want to go to convention. Mr. Bwaka be this self-made entitlement. Entitled to what? You're not entitled to nothing. There is no entitlement. Mr. Bwaka complained, oh, Mr. Cummings refused to come to meeting. That's why. Because Mr. Cummings refused to come to a meeting, that is why Mr. Bwaka left. Man, people, you're telling me, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Bwaka, and all lying on Mr. Cummings say, Mr. Cummings, it was under his watch when the document was authored. Yes, it was under his watch when the document was what? Authored. What he changed there? They all aware that it was authored. Yes, it was revised. Let me tell the phone. Now the whole thing is that we got the resolution letter that Yombly signed. Oh, look, go. The letter that Mr. Bwaka signed and the copy of the resolution from Liberty Party signed by Yombly. Signed by Yombly Kanga, political leader of Liberty Party. About the document. Now, when they all signed the letter, we just got the info that, oh God, look, listen, Yombly, these people are dirty people. And God will expose them every day. When Yombly signed for the second time, she put May 19. But that second time was not in May. But what people don't understand is that Darius Dillon said, why we can sign and put a particular day. Okay, both sides might be right but wrong. When you sign a document for the first time, my people, this is not no rocket scientist. The first time the document was signed on May 19, Liberian people rejected it. Liberian people said our nonsense document because only see people will get job and blah, 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 blah. Then Mr. Cummings, because after they signed it, Mr. Cummings took over. There was no 5 copy. Ure is a liar. He's a killer. He's a criminal. For Ure to lie broad day. And his son, Henry Costa, he's a liar. He's a molester. He's a child molester. I got a picture to prove that. Henry Costa put a little girl picture on Facebook, butt naked. So I can say it any day, anytime. I saw it and I still get copy. So all these guys, they are criminals. There was not no 5 copies given to Mr. Cummings. When they signed the document was not even notarized. That document was never notarized. It never make its way to even neck. Liberians, how many times did you fool y'all? That document never make its way to neck. The next day when they signed that document, the Liberian people rejected it. It was all over. People start scrutinizing the document. Even Henry Costa. This document is not in the interest of the Liberian people. This document, they say only member of C people will get a job. Mr. Cummings was the chairman now, suggested, okay, let's call our lawyers. They all agree. And they called the lawyers and the lawyers did it. And the lawyers sat with them. And they signed. They not sign. The lawyer explained to them all the changes. They agree. They accepted it and they gave it back to the committee to put it together. After they put it together, don't you know Mo Ali was the one who went around again with the document for everybody to re-sign. Guess what they did? When they were signing, Yombly signed and put May 19 for the second time. You know why May 19? Whenever or document is revised or amended, the dates, the signature remain the same. You do not change the date. Darius they don't say it. Why they can put that part, the new date? No, that means it's an old document. The document is almost like the American Constitution that was amended. It still carries the old date. It still carries the old signature. Henry Custer signature is still on the ANC Constitution. Although they have amended it, but his constitution, his signature is still there. So Ure signed. Ure was on his farm. Yombi was in Bicano. All this was. Mo Ali went there and signed. Mr. Cummings was to his place. Mo Ali went there and they signed. When they took it, he brought it back to, he gave it to this guy. And they all went to that place and the people did everything. They notarized it and they certificated and they had a big party. Then Liberian people, y'all still not believe it? Okay, let's play the devil advocate. The document I said that the withdrawal clause was changed so nobody can leave. And the replacement of George Weah, which one important? I thought we supposed to remove George Weah. So the document, they say the document too strong. Their document, there was nothing in there to say I can't go. But we want to remove George Weah or we want to break up. Now, because they noticed, they overlooked Mr. Cummings, and Mr. Cummings had been senating a long time, they overlooked Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings decided to go around the country. And let me tell you, the reason Mr. Cummings proposed the VPS, the VPS was the one Mr. Cummings was looking up to. That if I cannot win this VPS, I am convinced that I cannot win election in Liberia. Because this VPS, the coalition don't have money to have and to do primary in all the counties. Because you don't have money, so we'll go on the polling thing, and the perception survey, the voter perception survey. We go around and ask the Liberian people in all the counties. That means we train people to do it. We'll bring experts from America who know about polling. You don't need to say you got to bring, but you bring people. Mr. Ure went against it. That's why you see the CPU document stay that long. Mr. Billete was the one who said, listen, okay, we'll do it, but we'll use it just for documentation purposes. So, what they don't know that was the same thing, the VPS, that is what the delegates were going to use. Now, when they get to the convention, to the primary, because the VPS is not holding anymore, but they're still supposed to do it, they will go around and gather all the information. Then the delegates now will look at it. They can even announce it. Say, oh, Mr. Bwaka won the VPS. Oh, Mr. Cummings won the VPS. But all in all, we were fighting. Y'all don't know why we were campaigning for. Y'all don't know why Mr. Cummings was going around the country. Y'all don't know. Mr. Cummings was going around the country because of that VPS. That is why Mr. Cummings was going from county to county. Every time we sat in a meeting on a Zoom, Mr. Cummings would say, listen, guys, I understand y'all want us to leave, but we can't leave. If we leave, we'll not contest. I am saying this today now because you guys are dummy. The UP people, they get smart. They're smart. They're smart. Look, if Mr. Cummings said, and I can still, he said it, he said, if I can't win the VPS, then it makes no sense for us to cry about primary. They even know. So you see, there were a lot of chances for them. But we could not come out and say it because the thing is, I said, I don't know, but they don't know why we're talking. They don't know why we're going around. They don't know why we're telling Mr. Cummings to go to the counties, talk to everybody, talk to everybody, talk to everybody. Now the shameful now is the shame now because they even know what's in the lack of plans. All they had, their only plan was corrupt plans. And every time we go to a meeting, I remember the DOC, we say, Munel, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. All we need to do is to concentrate. Mr. Cummings said it over and over. If anybody ever, he said, listen, we got to win the VPS. If we want to lead the CPP, we should win the VPS. You know, The voter perception survey, the polling, then you go around and what's your name? My name Peter Paul. Then who you voting for? John Boaka or Cummings? And who is the best person? You put all together. Now when you give it to the delegates, that is what the delegate is going to decide on. So say, but listen, man, my man, there is no way Mr. Cummings can lead this thing because according to the survey, Mr. Cummings, that is where the thing was going to be. Then I know bribing. You think Mr. Cummings really want to suppress the Liberian people? Do you think Mr. Cummings want to suppress Liberians? To say, I force Nelson Moss, you're going to carry me? No. No. Mr. Cummings told us, I can still remember the first day I got on a Zoom meeting with Mr. Cummings when I introduced myself. I said, Mr. Cummings, I want you to leave the CPP because you're not win. They got them against you. You know Mr. Cummings said? He said, I understand, my brother. He said, but listen, Liberians are not machines, they are human beings. He said we should talk to them. He said, Ure only got one vote. Don't worry about it. He said, Ure cannot tell me that he would tell his people who to vote for. Even when he tell his people, and even in the ANC, do you think that all the people might vote for me? I don't know. I said, wow. He said, the only thing I want you to do, and everybody here, let us make our case. Let us make our case. He said, people overlook me. He said, my entire life, he said, I work with the Pittsburgh Food Company. The people look at me and say, what can I tell man this? So he said, I was 36 years old. I was promoted as vice president, responsible for Asia, over $1 billion budget. He said, I went to Coca-Cola. I just gave up right there. That's how you see every day we can't sleep. We on the internet, we talking, calling Liberia, we talking to people over and over. And I will tell you today, I have not regretted a penny. Nothing. People is resonating. Not even to the people in America, but the people in Liberia. It might not be going over. And you'll see sometimes once in a while, I will see someone say, oh, I'm watching from Maryland. One guy say, my man, you look at somebody I know from Maryland. Then you, my brother. So you see somebody in Maryland, watch it, and somebody will say it. People in Kakata saw it, Magibi, in other places. You know what I'm saying? So it been resonant. That is why Mr. Cummings decided to go around the counties. But you see, we can't tell you. Now we're telling you. So that is the only thing that could convince Mr. Cummings whether he'll be president or not. While you were sitting in Monrovia and talking about, oh, we did all the pool, every pool that we did, Mr. Obaka was leading. You people smart, though. Who told you that how they can do pool? You live in America. Staten Waterspoon live in America. Henry Costa live in America. When they're doing the pool, and George Lobo live in America. When they're doing a pool, my phone can just ring. Hello, how are you? Yes, I'm calling from the pool. Are you? If I want to talk, if I don't want to talk, it's okay. Yes. And who are you? Are you voting? So they don't ask for your name. That's a random call. You're a Republican or Democrat. Oh, I'm an independent. Okay. Who you be voting for? Joe Biden or Joe or Bill or Donald Trump? Joe Biden. Who the best person on the economy? Okay, in your state, the senators on this, they're taking everything. That's how they do pool. No radio station, no television station in America ever gave you a pool for online. No. They do not give you an online pool. The online pool is for the online people. Because the online pool, they go by your email address. And trust me, they got people with, I got an email address. My main email address is Yahoo. I got a Gmail email address that I use for my internet, my Facebook. I got a Hotmail email address. I still got my AOL email address and my MSN.com email address. So you can use all these email addresses and vote online. It's not a poll. So that is what Mr. Cummings was depending on. Okay, now they say they cancel it. It was not holding. But let's be frank. If Mr. Cummings are going to lose it, when you go to that primary, the delegates, even when you won't bribe them, even if you bribe them, some of them will stand for the right and say, listen, let us be honest here. Mr. Boaka won the survey. The VPS, Mr. Cummings won the VPS. There is no way we can change it. There is no way we can change the thing. It will hurt us. Right there, it's over. Mr. Cummings never, I never see if Mr. Cummings was greeted, if Mr. Cummings was greeted to be president on his own, he would leave the CPP and go on his own and say, well, okay, I can raise the money, I got money, so let me just leave. But no, Yomdi say I support Mr. Boaka, Mr. Cummings I will stay there. You say I support Mr. Boaka, Mr. Cummings I will stay there. Darius Dillon, who everybody used to like, used to now, he said I will stay there. Other people like it, I will stay there. Mr. Cummings, you can't win this thing, I will stay there. Then y'all say Mr. Cummings greedy? No. Y'all got a serious problem. Y'all got a serious problem. He's not greedy. He's not. He just want a process of play. Guys, y'all please like the video and share the video, please. He just fair. We should respect what we put on paper because we don't read. Liberians, we don't read, oh my people. Today, people saying that, yeah, the CPP disappointed us, we agree. But the CPP still got an engine. The CPP got a car, the CPP got an engine, still got gas in the engine, but no pilot, no driver. The driver abandoned the car. Who's the driver? Mr. Boaka. Mr. Boaka abandoned the car. We gave the car to Mr. Boaka. In less than 7 months, he abandoned the car. But I knew that Mr. Boaka was going to abandon the car. But still, I had little thought that Mr. Boaka would use his wisdom and call Ure and say, listen. Now, that's the thing here. You know, when I hear people who support Mr. Boaka and say, yeah, and when Mr. Boaka called meeting and Mr. Cummings never show up, and when they were doing the turning over ceremony, Mr. Cummings went to America, so that why Mr. Boaka ran over all my people? That why Mr. Boaka chile. He gave it all. I know when the people were reading, I think they put gunpoint on the woman's side because the woman was just bending down. In fact, I will play it for yourself. The woman was just bending down at this reading. And I still couldn't understand what the woman was saying. But guess what? I had to read the thing on my own. But let me listen. I beg you, just listen to it small. The papa said, Mr. Cummings can't come to meeting. Mr. Cummings can't do this. Ali. Let me just play small.
Depended largely on our honest interactions and cooperation. Sadly, as of now, we see no way forward, and so we have all decided to go our separate ways. Many of you have told us how disappointed you are, and we understand your feelings of loss. Do not despair. Even though the CPP did not work out, the unity party is working with other political parties and individuals as we can assure you, our supporters, that there will be a more available and respectable partnership.
Okay, y'all listen to him. Although we fail, the CPP failure, but Unity Party, this old man don't want no challenger. He don't want no one to challenge him. He don't want no one to challenge him. Now, the mistake he making now, UP will have to go to a convention. They never had a convention. So there are other people in UP right now who saying that they're going to challenge the old man for the standard bearership. Because what they did before, it was for CPP. It was for CPP. Y'all listen to it. The old man said they're going to get another group. But they already said that if you come in, the old man already standard bearer. My people, the old man have never applied for a job in his life. The old man, all the job that he ever got in his life was appointment. And he never succeeded. He failed in everything. LPMC, he was in Lofa County, that Mr. Minor, the one that appointed him. And then LPMC, Doe appointed him. Agriculture, he was appointed and Doe fired him. LPRC, he was appointed by the late Amos Sawyer. Amos Sawyer fired him, but because Amos Sawyer knew he was going to die too, he confessed. He said that somebody told him to fire Mr. Boaka. But the fact of the matter, they fired him. He said resign. Then he stayed with Ellen Johnson for 12 years and still cannot show us nothing. 12 years, Mr. Bwaka could not even pave the road in Lofa County to even convince Ellen Johnson, say, hey man, if I leave office, what you expect me to tell my people? Why we can't just face that Kolahun road and that will help me and say, oh yes, at least I was vice president for 12 years. This is what I did. Instead, the vice president took his farm to bombing because there was no road going to Lofa. The Ome can't win Lofa County again. The chief, in fact, the chairman for Unity Party in Lofa County told the Ome, you need to retire, my son, my papi. You need to retire. You get it? So the people of Lofa County told the Ome already. It's not about the age, but the Ome don't have that strength, that ability. The Ome were embarrassed. The Ome told the Liberian people he's a fixer. He said, I will fix it. No one party can win George Weah. So you all think that we crying because Mr. Bwaka leaving? No. Mr. Bwaka could leave and bring another young person in and say, let them come and challenge whoever they want to challenge in the thing. But it is our right to look for voters, to look for delegates in Liberty Party and in ALP. Now you see, all ALP all the members gone. All the executive, they gone. Sambola from Cape Man have left. Everybody gone. They all gone. Because they lied to the people. But Mr. Cummings paid, oh yeah, Mr. Cummings, everything Mr. Cummings do that trouble. Mr. Cummings split Unity and Liberty Party. Oh, Yombly, Delon, Zago, and the other guy, they say we supporting, the two senators say they supporting Mr. Bwaka. No problem. No problem with it. It's fine. The other person is supporting Mr. Cummings. Oh, no. That's a problem. We don't want it. Who are you to tell another Liberian who to support? Yombly, who are you? Who are you? Eh? And let me break a thing to you, because this is a first-hand information. Darius Dillon, the friends of Darius Dillon in America, wanted for Darius Dillon to challenge Yombly for that political leadership. Even Mr. Ability was supporting Dillon. It's not that they could win, but they wanted a strong candidate for the Unity Party. Yombly was not a strong candidate. Yombly could not even hold Liberty Party together. Without Ability, Liberty Party are going to be dead. Today, they insulting Ability, you're criminal. Show me one record where they say they indicted Ability. They seen Delon explain the whole thing about Ability. Ability, they say Ability ate Ebola money because Ability contested in the FIFA something and he was in the first 5. You know what I'm saying? Nobody indict Ability. That the same Ability who brought Liberty Party up to stand up. Now today, you say Ability caused problem. And I would disagree with a lot of people on that. The real problem causes, those who cause the problem in Liberty, in CPP, is Benina Ure. And then Mr. Bwaka, because Mr. Bwaka was the instigator. Because of Mr. Bwaka, that's why Ure did it. So why we can't be fair to ourselves? Why we can't be fair to ourselves? The first day Mr. Ure came out, we knew that was the problem right there. We knew it was the problem right there. We knew it. You can't be a political leader and you want to tell another political leader what to do. You that's your right to submit, but you gotta be the last. It almost like the Democratic primary. Then Barack Obama coming out straight and say I'm supporting Biden. Barack never did it until Biden had the clear way to be the standard bearer. That is when Mr. Barack came out to endorse him. But Mr. Ure, he came out quick. I will support Mr. Bwaka. Because then Mr. Cummings mayor is just coming. You think I'm a traditional man. Look at your leader, the man who went to school. He said he's supporting Mr. Bwaka because Mr. Bwaka is a traditional man. He aged, he been around for so long. Oh, because I went to Mr. Bwaka. Those days he talking after Mr. Bwaka was still young. When I say young, his brain was still young. He said, oh, we should go in the street. Mr. Bwaka said, oh, no, don't do it, my son. And no blood on my hand. So that means Mr. Bwaka got wisdom. That the wisdom he just showed to us. He took over a leadership October, November, December, January. 5 months, Mr. Bwaka ran away. Mr. Bwaka abandoned the car on the main road with gas and everything in there. He abandoned the car with the passenger on board and ran away. Oh, you know, Mr. Bwaka abandoned the CPP car on the highway and Chile. He only took few people from the truck and gone. He carried Henry Costa, he carried Ure, he carried Yombly. Yombly didn't even get a party. Yombly don't even have a party. Belated and be her. You gotta wait. Pay your dues and go right back to your party. Pay your dues and go right back to your party. And you know, oh, and Tiawan Gong and Joe Biden, Joe Bwaka and Tiawan Gonglo. And Ure said he never had a gun. Ure was standing up when Tiawan Gonglo explained the story. I saw it. Because in fact, Chad Taylor beat Tiawan. Chad Taylor wanted to kill Tiawan Gonglo. Let me tell you the real truth. They beat that guy. They beat the hell out of Tiawan Gonglo in jail. You know what they want to kill Tiawan for? Tiawan was one of the permanent son of Nimba County because they got rid of Jackson Doe. Tiawan was like it was a threat to the child stealer thing. That maybe Tiawan want to run for something. So they got rid of Jackson Doe. So Tiawan Gonglo, Tiawan called them. He said, Ure were there. Joe Tate. He said that the Nigerian ambassador saved him. The Nigerian ambassador saved him. Tiawan. Yeah, the Nigerian ambassador saved him. Because he said they were coming to the car. He called the names that were there. Charles Bright. So when they got, look, gentlemen, this is the man who called him Mr. Cummings criminal. Ure is the one that called him Cummings criminal. Cummings stole from him. Cummings forged his signature. Can you believe that? None of the political leaders held the document. None of the political leaders worked on that document. All they did, they got copies and they look at it. Henry Costa lied. He said Mr. Cummings brought another lawyers. Hey, Jesus Christ, and y'all believe it too, my people? Y'all believe that other thing there again for Henry Costa to lie to y'all? Mr. Cummings brought another lawyers to look at it. They're not a lawyer. Hey, God. Yeah. Darius Delon. In his meeting, they said Darius Delon asked Mo Ali. There's changes here. Was these changes done with Mr. Cummings or the lawyers? Mo Ali repeated the lawyers. Then they say Mr. Darius Delon said, but what we wasting our time on the thing for? And I calling his name. What are we wasting our time on this thing when it was done by the lawyers? Oh, they say you don't know. He asked Mo Ali 2 times the next time they met again. Mr. Cummings have communicated with Yombly over and over in the text. That's why the Solicitor General stuck, because all the information they give the Solicitor General, when you read the text, that Mr. Cummings blasting at them on the text. Blasting at them. The ANC delegate, the ANC member on that committee, the man refused to sign. How can you give, they brought all the document. We all saw the document. They say, yes, this, they amend. Yes, it is. Then on your conclusion ain't got nothing to do with the document. You start concluding like somebody who ain't get brains. Mo Ali went and blasted at them. That nonsense. Your layman complain and say, oh, Mo Ali don't want to play by the rules. Mo Ali trying to act this and that. The man recorded Mo Ali. ALP got vexed. They won't fight the man. They said they were investigating. The man was recording them. Yes. Because you were lying. Then Liberian people, because you hate Mr. Cummings. What so much Mr. Cummings did that you should hate him? Mr. Cummings came to America. God bless him. He make his own money for himself. You in America, I in America. We ain't get it, Mr. Cummings get it. That's not your business. You got a right to go to Liberia and say you want to run for no chicken soup office. It is your right under the Constitution. Nobody can stop you. Today he's citizen. Tomorrow he foreigner. Today he this. The next day he nothing. Today he a criminal. He a sugar water man. He this and that. Some of you ain't work with the sugar water people yet. Why are you against this man? Even if you don't want him, why would you want to insult him? Why would Henry Costa take 1 hour, 40 minutes of his time calling a man criminal when he, Henry Costa, a criminal? ate money from June 7. He, Darius Dillon, and Mo Ali, we know. That is why Darius Dillon can't tell Henry Costa nothing because they're all in the game. They're all in the same game. Eh? Insulting. As much as we criticize Mr. Boaka, we don't come on and start cursing Mr. Boaka. When you say Mr. Boaka that sleeping Joe, yes, he was sleeping. We see him sleeping, but they say he got Chinese eye anyway. We see him sleeping, but he got Chinese eye. The same people who criticize. There's another video here, Mr. Insulting people over there every day. You are supporting George Weah. He insulted people over and over. The tape is all out there. Then you want to talk about credibility? Eh? This man have never worked in our government one day. This man have done a lot for Liberia. Joel Howard Taylor, she gave a speech that day when they were honoring that man. This man brought people to America, to Liberia, and assisted our government during the Ebola. He went and negotiated. At that time, Cummings was still active working. Cummings' first time coming to Liberia, when I say first time, when he started to get engaged, it was 2002. Cummings have given personal money to the Liberian government. Judy Bryant. Mr. Cummings have helped so many Liberians, but because he respects dignity, he respects people, that's why he don't talk about it. Mr. Cummings will never give you 5 cents and tell the people I give them money. If we start to talk about Mr. Cummings' achievement, you all saw the catering place. We tell them they must speak out. Mr. Cummings gave for 350 kVA generator to beat them. Which of the Liberian citizens have done it? Eh? The United Methodist or the UMU University, the entire master's program, Mr. Cummings sponsored it. Today, Mr. Cummings gave $850,000 for scholarship in Liberia, in Maryland County. The Nima Community College, the only STEM school in Liberia ever in our history, because of what other country doing. Cummings. Eh? Clinics, healthcare, because of the passion for his wife. The Cummings Foundation is not even connected to ANC, it's not politics. But it's the biggest foundation in Liberia who continue to go from hospital to hospital and help people. Yeah. Teach Liberia. Teach Liberia. Cummings Foundation donated $25,000 to them. Henry Costa got jealous. He said he won't raise money. He said all the CO people will pay $20. He raised only $11,000. And on that list, there were ordinary Liberians who want to contribute. And now Henry Costa supporter. You know what I'm saying? Why? What this man should do? They may not looking to build house. This man is not looking, and the man is continuing to say that he will prosecute corrupt people. If you don't want to vote for him, fine. But Liberians should be the priority of anything. This man telling you this is the only politician who continue to go around the country with all the interviews. He talk about the economy. He talk about the country. Eh? With all the bogus contract we signed. Don't you know, Mr. Cummings, know there's a law that prosecute, that can go against companies that take advantage of third world country? We don't even know. We think that because airport terminal signed a contract and they breaking the contract, and still we know, yes, under the Cummings administration, they will revisit it. Because there are laws for foreign companies who go to a third world country to use the people, to take advantage of the people. Oh, yeah. And I will tell you, all the companies are so damn corrupt, they take advantage of you. When they know you're corrupt government, they will come there and do business. But there's a place that you can carry them. Once you got proof, mental steel, they are allowed of proof because they failed on some of the contracts. Then you sign another contract because you broke. Yeah, you want it's good, you can beg. But show the people what you're good for. The Liberian government have not purchased one COVID vaccine. Everything are begging. You can buy one, the people give you 2 free. We got money. We got money. How you think our president using all the, how you think the government officials then? Everyone in Nigeria going to private schools. But our children can go to public school. Every day, our there's small money we're working for here. People calling us every day to go to school. Then you sit in Liberia. You want to get vexed because we in America talking. You don't want to live here throughout. We ain't happy because you're in Liberia. We're not happy about it. Some of us came to Liberia just as a blessing. You will come to Liberia one day, America, you don't know. You don't know. It's just that we've been having corrupt people that leave from the diaspora to go back to Liberia and use you. So I understand why you don't trust politicians. People that because of Paul Darius Dillon, you don't trust politicians because you trusted Darius Dillon and we elected him. But let me tell you today, whenever you don't trust another man and you give them opposition, just how you supported him, you should be brave enough to tell him his fault. Maybe he will change. Maybe he will change. But it shouldn't stop you from supporting another Liberian. It's like in a business, Mr. Comey said, if we give Liberian a contract, if the government gave you a contract, and you misuse it and you do not purchase what we ask you to do, we prosecute you. But at the same time, we should give another Liberian a chance. But we say, oh, Liberian people can do business. Because one Liberian man stole from the government, because the government can steal, so everybody steal from the government. And then at the same time, we got people who giving a loan. You went to the National Bank, you put in for your loan and whatsoever. They gave you a $25,000 loan, you receive $22,000. Or you receive $20,000. Who going to pay the $25,000? The man who the loan officer finna getting $5,000 from you, and he say, okay, but to you now a big, okay, I will go and do it. I will stay hustle. But the Lebanese man will go for that loan. The Lebanese man actually looking for only $50,000. The Lebanese man will put in $25,000. That $25,000, the man know that he can still make the money. Then he takes small thing and give it to the guy and say, oh yeah, thank you, my man. Liberians, let us look at ourselves. If we want to change Liberia, we should change ourselves. We should change our mindset. Nobody, we can't hate our own people. So by us talking, it means that we hate the government. Like people say, oh, and we should come together and put money together for the for the Zogos, and it's not a bad thing. But let us see the interest, what the government doing. Let's see what's the program the government have for these people. Then we can come and rally. But we can't sit here and see our government officials in charge stealing. Then you want us to collect money to go do a program in Liberia. You think it's fair? It's not fair. Eh? It's not fair. We don't even love ourselves. We pretend. The government do the same thing. Look at the Bassetena. The Bassetena, sedition into uniform. They're in a beret. I was talking to Charlotte. Charlotte said, you know, I went to Maggie party. I had to wear the CDC cap. I said, but why you wear it? They said, oh, everybody who comes should wear the CDC cap. So I went, I wore it too. That's what Charlotte said. Because everybody said, oh, you saw Charlotte in the city. She said, somebody carry me there. You having a Bassetena, a national program. But you got sedition in the CDC. Suppose United Party were going to wear their own uniform, then ANC wear their uniform, then everybody wear their uniform and go there. That is where the president will come and say, listen, this is a national thing. This is not politics. This is not politics. This is not CDC program. Yes, sedition are Liberian, but this is not our CDC program. Let everybody be in the red, white, and blue. But not to go and be singing, oh, say, oh, they're going around acting like military. And that's not CDC program. Or because they were trying to prove that, oh, everybody loved the president. No. It's not about George Weah. The centennial, the bicentennial was not about George Weah, it's about Liberia. And let me tell you something. If I was in that place, when I say in that place, organizing with near President Weah, I would let opposition speak. I will allow the opposition, Boaka, to say something, Mr. Comey says something, and this other person says something. When the last time President Weah called these people behind closed door to talk about Liberia, even President Doe used to call opposition to the airflow there on top of the building there and chill. When was the last time President Weah invited opposition to his house for dinner? When? It never happened. For them, you can't come and like Brother say, oh, the president say no. You think if the president come on and say, well, I encourage the opposition that we can talk. You expect Mr. Cummings to go to the foreign ministry? Hello, I came to see the president. For what? Who's supposed to initiate the talk? Who's supposed to say, listen, my man, let's work together until you can run election? I'm the president. I am the president. Mr. Cummings never denied it one day. Mr. Cummings wrote the president of the Republic of Liberia and said, I am willing to work with this government to help with COVID. The president responded through what? Media. They never wrote Mr. Cummings, but they say, okay, yes, I welcome it. Mr. Cummings wrote President Weah again with suggestion and said, when you come back, we can have a meeting. President Weah traveled. When he came back, he never invited Mr. Cummings. People say, oh, don't do it, don't do it. You do it and you won't make news here. That politics, don't do that. Politics playing. That is why Mr. Cummings the family took $150,000 and gave it to his foundation because he trusts the foundation. You don't understand. If the president were to sit with Mr. Cummings and talk to Mr. Cummings one-on-one and understand who is Mr. George Weah and sit and talk. He just said this is what we need to do, Mr. President. We need to do this, we need to do it. But oh, don't do it, Mr. President. And he never did it. He never called Mr. Cummings one day to even ask Mr. Cummings what you think about this corona. And we all know COVID don't know nobody. It's not there for sedition. It's not there for people from ANC or UP. It catch every Liberian. But you think our leaders care, but then you won't blame Mr. Cummings. Mr. Ure caused the problem in Liberty Party, in CPP, you won't blame Mr. Cummings. Mr. Boaka, who's supposed to be the smartest man, the man with wisdom, crying, Mr. Cummings, he came to meeting 2 times, and we call Mr. Cummings, and this and that. Yombly say, oh, we want to thank Mr. Ure for seeing it. And you, Yombly, now thank God, oh, we catch you. Yombly letter, the resolution she signed, the paper, the lawyer got it. The one from Mr. Boaka, the one he wrote to NEC and satisfying the document, we got it. Our lawyers got it. The lawyers have it. The lawyers have it. They lie. They didn't start the case. Mr. Boaka will take the stand. Mr. Boaka will take the stand. Yombi will take the stand. Mo Ali will take the stand. When they finish scrutinizing Mr. Boaka, sorry for saying it. He pacemaker and gave up. Sorry for saying it. It's not a disrespect because he got it. You know how long Mr. Boaka lied to us about pacemaker? He don't have it until he said it here. I got pacemaker. Eh? We need to change our mindset. Spencer said you can lie, boy. He said you can lie. So now if I answer Spencer, now Spencer will say he's not talking to me. But Spencer, I just want you to sit, and Spencer is a better thing that you sit and listen to me. It's a good thing. So, you see, there's nothing. You say your man will win, I say my man will win. Politics, the man who gives the best message will get the day. But one thing I will tell you, Liberians are not the same yesterday. Liberians are not the same people of yesterday. So if you think that George Weah will win election, I want to know how he's going to do it. If you think Joe Boaka will win election, I want to know how he's going to do it. One thing I'm telling you, we're not overlooking nobody in this race. We are not overlooking anyone in this race. I will tell you today, we're not overlooking no one. Everybody is equal when it comes to election. Everybody is equal. So we're not overlooking nobody. President Weah, we're not overlooking President Weah. The real truth, we're not overlooking none of them. So even Joe Boaka, but we need a debate. We need a debate. I would love to see Joe Boaka, George Weah on that stage. Although the woman can answer now in slow motion, but we still need to see his platform. Yeah. But what the platform for Joe Boaka? Let me ask you something. What is his platform? What he got on the platform for us? How he can change the economy? He's not telling us. He got 4. He said road, agriculture, tourism, and sanitation. That's what he said. 4. But he got 4. We got infrastructure. Infrastructure come with roads. It come with electricity. It come with good drinking water. It come with internet connectivities. It's all in one. We got agriculture. The fisheries, everything in one. We got health. Mr. Boaga got sanitation. In health, you can find the sanitation. You can find the early child health care, the family health care, all the different things that we need to get is all in there. And teachers training, when you come to education, we talk about teachers training. We're talking about early childhood education, different. We broke everything down. How we make the money. We're talking about government inclusion, how we can unite the country. Mr. Cummings listed everything. We'll go through art, we'll go through religion, tradition, music, all these things. You come together, you bring people together. You know what I'm saying? But Mr. Boaga don't have it. But let me play Mr. Cummings' little thing again. I want you to watch it yourself. And let me take a quick break and get a water to drink. And today is a nice day. I'm outside chilling. I'm not going to. I'm just outside. You see the general in the whole summit with my 2-star. I sort of put the other one. I got 4-star now. Yeah. So guys, I want you to share it. But let's listen to Mr. Cummings, his agenda for Liberia, and it's explained. But at the same time, you can dance to that music, you know. So let's just go back and listen to Alexander Cummings, the next president of the Republic of Liberia. Yep.
Album, Mr. Cummings album, Alexander Cummings album. He body explode. The leaders I love, the ones I trust so much, they made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. He gave me a leader with love for his people. He gave me a leader who would deliver us from poverty. God look at Liberia with mercy from his heart. He gave me my ABC, now you want to in my way. Somebody give me chance. ABC coming, somebody give me chance. I'm talking the talk and do, somebody give me chance. Talk and do, somebody give me chance. The coming the talk and do, somebody give me chance. For better education, somebody give me chance. For good health system, somebody give me chance. For good infrastructure, somebody give me chance. Oh, somebody give me chance. Okay. Way back, you are giving me corporate. Way back, you are giving me small money. Then you tell me, say you are coming to face the road. And you tell me, say you are coming to face the school. And you tell me, say corruption was going to finish. But how come I never see you do nothing? I say how come everything too hard? I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. Please give me a leader with love for these people. Please give me a leader who will deliver from poverty. God look at Liberia with mercy from his heart. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stay in my way. Please give me chance. I said get up for him, my face. Somebody give me chance. ABC coming, somebody give me chance. Alexander B coming, somebody give me chance. He coming with his partner, somebody give me chance. Solonte, Jeremiah Solonte, somebody give me chance. Solonte, Jeremiah Solonte, somebody give me chance. Jamegu, Lafiegu, somebody give me chance. Jamegu, Lafiegu, somebody give me chance. We talking about talk and do, somebody give me chance. Talk and do, we talking about talk and do, somebody give me chance. Talk and do, we talking about talk and do, somebody give me chance. I say you tell a plenty talking.
Somebody give me chance. Somebody give me chance. Somebody give me chance.
Oh,
Somebody give me chance.
the leaders I love, the ones I love, the ones I love so much. They made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stay my way. He gave me my ABC, then you want to stay my way. He gave me my breakthrough, now you want to stay my way. Enemies of progress, now you want to stay my way. Please give me chance. I'm talking but I can do. Please give me chance. Alexander B. Cummings, please give me chance. For good education, please give me chance. For good infrastructure, please give me chance. I say good health system, please give me chance. Oh, somebody give me chance.
Give me chance.
The leaders I love, the ones I love, the ones I love so much. They made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. He gave me a leader with love for his people. He gave me a leader who would deliver us from poverty. God look at Liberia with mercy from him heart. He gave me my ABC, now you want standing my way.
Somebody give me chance.
ABC coming,
Somebody give me chance.
I'm talking the talk and do.
Somebody give me
Talk
chance.
and do. The coming the talk and do.
Somebody give me chance.
For good education,
Somebody give me chance.
for better infrastructure,
Somebody give me chance.
for good health system,
Somebody give me chance.
oh,
Somebody give me chance.
you tell a plenty talking.
Somebody give me
Talk,
chance.
talk, talk.
Somebody.
I'm talking but talk and do.
Somebody give me
Talk
chance.
and do. The coming the talk and do.
Somebody give me
Talk
chance.
and do. Corruption that in his blood. I talk and do. Stealing that in his blood. They come in.
Somebody give me
His
chance.
nothing with blood. I'm talking the talk and do.
Somebody give me
I talk
chance.
and do. The coming the talk and do.
Somebody give me chance.
For good education,
Somebody give me chance.
for better infrastructure,
Somebody give me chance.
for good health system,
Somebody give me chance.
oh,
Somebody give me chance.
you tell a plenty talking.
Somebody give me chance.
Talk.
Somebody give me chance.
I'm talking but talk and do.
Somebody give me
Talk
chance.
and do. The coming the talk and do.
Somebody give me
Talk
chance.
and do. Corruption that in his blood. I talk and do. Stealing that in his blood. I talk and do. His hands nothing with blood. I talk and do. I'm talking the talk and do.
Somebody give me chance.
Okay, and I left this one. Ezekiel, I want to apologize to you again for attacking you because I never got your message on who you were talking to first. But you see, I left this out to tell you that Ezekiel Wilson live in Liberia. He's on 7th Street in Sinker. 7th Street in Sinker. He watching the show. It's lit. So you see, people follow us and people know what's going on. I am not pushing Ezekiel that, oh, you must follow Mr. Cummings. Ezekiel knows what's going on, bro. And for there's another one, the guy said we waste our time on politicians. Let me make it clear to you guys. I have shown it so many times. I'm voting in Liberia. I voted 2018. I will vote again unless God take my life. I got a valid driver's license in Liberia. My license expired last year. I renew my license again. So you see, whether you like it, you don't like it. If you're not voting, good. And when you come on this page, if you know I'm talking nonsense, you don't have to say you insult me. It will be good that you just leave or just listen. I don't go on people's page and say things that I don't want to. If I would say anything, I would talk about Mr. Cummings. And when you respond, I will talk Mr. Cummings again. It is my right to support Mr. Cummings. It is your right not to support Mr. Cummings. But it's my right to convince you. You either take it or don't take it. But I know by the time we leave, you will take it one way or the other and you will get to understand it. So We're not doing it whether we want to get something or whether we don't want nothing, but because I love my country, Liberia. You see my brother here? This boy is my good brother. Long way. Have you started campaigning? He said, when I sort of campaign, Joseph Demi live all the way in Sano. And he's my brother. He's from the NPP CDC camp. But he's my brother. And we talk. You know what I'm saying? And you put me tell you, my brother from my empire is with CDC. He's from the NPP CDC camp. My brother from my empire. He next to me. But hey, that's my brother. You think because my brother in that camp, I will jump there too? No. Or you think because I'm in the camp, my brother will jump there too? No, 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 no. No. That's how life goes. But I love my brother when we sit down as a family, we don't talk politics. We don't talk politics. We talk as a normal person. Or sometimes we argue when it comes to that, but everybody respect everybody. You see? But you come on my page and insult me. And the man you talking for George Weah is somebody who I know too good. Now somebody who I know too good. I'm looking for friendship. I'm not looking for friendship. And now the other guy said that we love politicians so much. Now when they let us down, let me bring it on. He said, Benjamin, he said, everyone knows that ANC is a breakaway sedition and a complete replica of CDC. And you guys can support CDC again. No, we cannot support CDC. We are not a breakaway from CDC. We got people who left CDC and in the ANC. So there is no way you can say they are a breakaway. Then you get it wrong. Because Kwame Clement was never a member of CDC. You know that one. Eh? Kwame Clement, the founding member, one of the founding members, he was not a member of CDC. But there are other people who went to CDC and left CDC. Horatius Gould, even Henry Costa were part of the ANC. They were one of those who put the constitution together. Then Wilmer Mashilene, there are plenty. So it's not CDC. You know what I'm saying? It's not CDC. Any way you put it, but be objective. Now, if you say that, then I will tell you, say, but then CDC, that MPP, because they got plenty of people from MPP who joined CDC, who organized CDC. They got plenty of rebel people there who organized CDC. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the case. But we are not. But if you take it that way, I want sedition to vote for us. And we know sedition will vote for us. We got a lot of seditions in our camp right now. And we got a lot of people from ALP in our camp. We got people from UP in our camp. We got people from Liberty Party in our camp. In fact, we got 80% of the Liberty Party partisan supporting Mr. Cummings. 80%. Yombly, fine. Yombly is just on her own. She's a roving ambassador. Pay your dues and go join the party. Keep your party together. For Unity Party, we got plenty of members from Unity Party. And y'all be careful before the other executive committee member tell you, say you're not a member of the party too. So sorry. And the information I'm getting, they say neck throw the case outside again with Yombly. But some people say that lie. But anyway, you'll never believe anything. Okay, yeah, Timothy, now how are you, my brother? But we'll continue to make the case. As I said, if we don't speak, people will if we don't speak out, people will look at Joe Barker or look at George Weah. But I will tell you, I'm not afraid. People who think that because of the situation in the CPP, George Weah will have a free ride. My brother, you're funny. You know who's saying that? You know how level there? Anybody who uttered that war that George Weah will win, two, maybe they're not member of any party, they are afraid. It's not that they want him to win. They say, oh, the way you're behaving and George Weah will win again, oh, because they don't know. They don't. The first election, who make George Weah to win? It's the rest of the Liberian people who join in the second round. You all know that CDC got no problem. You don't know that NPP is not happy, that NPP is planning to put up candidate in the coming election. In other districts, in other places for senator and mainly for senators, they're going to carry a lot of independent people with them, like what they did with Brown. So you guys, just stop it. It's not a pathway. It's not because the people look. But one thing I know, this coming election will not get no 22 parties. There will be no 22 parties on a ballot. You're watching. If 22 parties will be there, they'll go. Some will go as a senator. They will try to go as a senator. But for presidential candidate, a lot of parties will join, will merge. Maybe Nukwe party will merge with Unity Party again. So that you're talking about Gonglo joining you is not an overnight discussion. It's not an overnight discussion. Young and Gonglo, come over, can't join me. They say Gonglo went to the papi and begged the papi to join. You're brave. Oh. You're really brave. You're UP guys. You get too much draft. UP got too much draft, my man. You got too much draft. So you see, Alex Cummings is the only candidate in Liberia with a plan or blueprint. Although you say he finger document, he will finger your too. But the fact is that he's the only person. Somebody say you voted for George, we are right. Me. Maybe you know the face. I campaigned against George Weah in 2017. I supported George Weah in 2005 and 2011 and supported George Weah to go as a senator. When George Weah became senator, that is where I understood and got my message that George Weah was not ready. Thank God I would never make him president 2005. And since then, George Weah have proven me wrong. He has proven me right, that I was right. Everything I said, that's it. Joshua is not in charge of Liberia. Magir is in charge of Liberia. Magir is in charge of Liberia. I will tell you, Joshua travel all the time to go to conferences because of the padam. That's all. And you know, it's so sad that everything that happened in government is George Weah. They gave money is George Weah. They buy clothes is George Weah. They buy car at George Weah. They buy this one at George Weah. They go, the other government gave money. They gave me like, bro, 50,000, 50 million. I was, oh, yeah, you see George Weah. Oh, we went to Europe. The people decided that they will give like, bro, $95 million on something. Oh, you see, President Weah went to Europe and brought $95 million. Listen, my people, government will not stop doing business with us. Government will not stop doing business, whether you bad or whatsoever, even if they're going to help you. They will still control their money the way they want to control it. All we need is we all want peace in Liberia. But let us start playing that stupid political game that think that you can use the court because we know that the strategy. Use the court, go after Mr. Cummings and take him out. But it's wrong. You can make it. The Supreme Court will do nothing to Mr. Cummings. I can tell anybody that. Nothing they will do. The Serena Cephas can drag that case from now to Judgment Day. The case will come to an end. And Mr. Cummings will not lose it because Mr. Cummings did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong he did. Nothing wrong. I never voted for George Weah. So I just want to get it straight. That's why I put it up. Thank you, Trokomo. Okay. But somebody think that when we on this side, there are a lot of Liberians who in this country who voted in Liberia. A lot of Liberians. They went home and they vote. So it's not about other people. Oh, you're sitting in America there, you're in this, you're in that. You are worried about the wrong thing. You will stay long inside. You see, these are not the kind of comments I can really know what you want to say. So maybe somebody else was still on in there. Okay, well, Prince Chocomo, you are watching the right thing, and you will stay long inside. That the fact, Chocomo, I will tell you, you will love to listen to me any day than listening to people who cuss on the show. You will love to listen to me because I speak what is right. I don't just speak on issues that will not even benefit Liberia. I'm not here to tell you how George we are dressing. I'm not here to tell you, say, George, we are like this, I will come cussing. No, you're not getting it from out of me. But I can tell you what is right. I will tell you some things that it make no sense, and we can move on to get to the better thing. So that's it. We got to learn from each other, my brother. But I know you're learning some stuff from here today. Yeah. You see, and another thing, let me tell you about Mr. Cummings. I will send it to you. I will send it to you, Vivian. And let me tell you something about Mr. Cummings. And I will compare Mr. Cummings with other Liberian politicians. You know, if you follow history in Liberia when it comes to elections, our first election that I know about was 1985. After the election, all the politicians have disappeared. After the election, you can't find nobody. All the promises they gone. Charles Taylor time. After Charles Taylor won the election, all the political leaders that contested, you couldn't find them again. Ellen Johnson left the country. Even during Doe time, Ellen Johnson refused to take her seat because Ellen Johnson won the senatorial seat in Monserrado County, and she won, and she refused to take her seat. I voted for Ellen. I voted for Archibald. I voted for Archibald based on the whole IE business, and you know our IE man. So, and we all were in that same thing. We vote on people, whether we hey, first chance is first chance. Now they all left. When after Charles, when Ellen Johnson came in, when she voted, when they had the election for Ellen, everybody left. George Weah himself left. He came to America. He sat down. In 2011, George Weah went in Liberia again. He and where it is Tottenham. They put up ticket again. Joshua went as VP. He decided to go as VP because Tottenham pay now. It was not free. Costa knew about it. It was not a free thing. Although when he said Bromsky hair left in it. So after that 2011, everybody went again. They left. They went about this. Everybody back. They left. So everybody know that Joshua had time. George Weah the more popular man. Okay, that George Weah had time. George Weah started contesting. CDC was the only big party. Let me tell you the real truth. CDC went what they did when they went to that convention, that program, where they say all of them were going to merge. But people don't understand. They say that no. It was George Weah when he left the place. He told them straight. He said, "Listen, me, I'm running." He connected. He talked to what he needs, Tyler, because Tyler had money. Tyler too was looking for protection. Tyler decided to join George Weah, and George Weah told them straight between two of you, got to decide who to be my VP. You're going to have a convention, and from there, that was it. So George Weah was already on it. CDC is not like that. CDC, they came from a party. Nobody's stopping it. NPP had to go with somebody because NPP want to be relevant. So they all joined. You see? So that was the whole thing. CPP was not organized to make Mr. Bwaka stand bearer. So when Joshua won the election, Joe Bwaka went in hiding. Where is Mandela Cooper? Where is Dew Mason? Where is Mel Jones? Where is Dr. Kier? Where is Jonathan Mason? Everybody gone. The only politician that went around the country to say thank you was Mr. Cummings. In 3 years, that when Joshua went back to go tell the people thank you, after they saw Mr. Cummings visiting all the counties, Mr. Bwaka went in hiding. Because when Mr. Cummings met Mr. Bwaka after the election, Mr. Bwaka told people he was not contesting anymore. He was not interested. Even his campaign manager said it, Henry Costa. We'll call Henry Costa in because he got a bigger platform. He said it. He said Mr. Bwaka was not contesting. Everybody knew that Mr. Bwaka was not contesting. So Mr. Cummings went to Maryland, he went to Banga, he went all these places and told people, thank you for giving me the opportunity. All the promises that he made, he fulfilled all his promises. All the places, and he never left Liberia. He come visit, he go back. He never left. He moved to Liberia. His wife lived in Liberia. He moved home. He only come and go back and stay doing a little small 1-2 on boards and other things. He started going around the country. Mr. Bwaka, the first year, Mr. Bwaka ain't go nowhere. 3 years, Mr. Bwaka never stepped. Today, they will never tell you Mr. Bwaka went to Maryland to tell people thank you. Mr. Bwaka never went to Grand Jira and told people thank you for voting. He never went to River G. He never went to Sano, River Says. He never told these people thank you. He never went to even Lofa to tell the people thank you for the vote. He never did. 3 years. Mr. Cummings went all over the place and told the people thank you. Look, if Mr. Cummings was like them, that by June we start hearing about politics. We start hearing about people coming out there. Because guess what? The primary for every party is 2022. Liberty UP primary, that 2022. ANC primary too was 2022, but because of CPP, we had our primary very early. That because of CPP. You know what I'm saying? So you don't go hear nobody talking about politics. But Mr. Cummings changed the whole thing around. When they noticed that Mr. Cummings had been going around the country, then especially when he became the chairman for CPP, Mr. Cummings makes CPP relevant. Mr. Cummings showed the strength of CPP. Under Mr. Cummings' leadership, under your leadership, CPP or nothing. He showed the strength because CPP had offices in all the counties. Mr. Cummings opened it. Mr. Cummings paid his dues that the dues CPP were operating on. While Liberty Party at the time, when Liberty Party got they came out with the dues, when Billete took over the chairmanship, that when Liberty Party cleared the dues. But UP never paid the dues. Liberty Party, ALP never paid the dues. Only $2,000 that you pay. I'm telling you now. Today, as we speak, they ain't paid. They only put up to date that Liberty Party and ANC. In fact, say ANC overpay. You see that? Why you think when Mr. Bwaka took over, they was trying to sell t-shirt, and we asked them, your t-shirt you're selling is for ANC, is for CPP, or is for Unity Party? It's for Unity Party or for they try to change the whole thing around. But because they saw Mr. Cummings now, they brought our slogan. Oh, and Bwaka Cummings. Bwaka Cummings. Papi, you gotta run. You gotta run. We'll push it. Don't worry. We'll push it. They start singing the song all over the place. Bwaka Cummings, Bwaka Cummings, Bwaka Cummings. They start asking Mr. Cummings, oh, Mr. Cummings, why you can't go, Mr. Bwaka? For what reason? For what reason? Eh? After I spoke to Mr. Bwaka said he was not contesting. It almost like Barack Obama and this lady who left for seat with Barack Obama, and Barack Obama decided to run for the seat. When she lost, she won't come back. Mr. Bwaka said he was not contesting because of age and health. He was not contesting at all. Let the young people take over. The young people now, because they're so lazy in the UP, they came up now, the George Lobo and whosoever. Yeah, let Mr. Bwaka, Mr. Bwaka, Mr. Bwaka, Mr. Bwaka, Mr. Bwaka. They start singing the song. Then to then, oh, Mr. Bwaka popular, Mr. Bwaka popular, Mr. Bwaka popular, Mr. Bwaka this, the mayor of vice president for 12 years. It's a disrespect for him to go as far. Who told you that if you vice president, you can't go vice president again? The only time I will feel bad for Mr. Bwaka when they bring him down. That's how Henry Costa lie. He said Mr. Cummings promised Mr. Bwaka ambassador position. Look at that nonsense. Look at that nonsense. I myself will get vexed. I myself will get vexed. Then you say Mr. Cummings should go as VP. The main play a first game because Ure saw his own birthright to give his right to Mr. Bwaka, so that means Mr. Cummings should do the same thing. And Mr. Ure brave enough, he said, I went to Cummings, I told Cummings, said, why you can't just go as me? Why Mr. Bwaka could not go to Mr. Cummings and say, Mr. Cummings, please can go with me? Why Mr. Bwaka never took the phone? 2 times Mr. Cummings went to a program, he went there 1 hour and another 1 45 minutes late. Mr. Bwaka ain't said nothing. Why Mr. Bwaka could not call Mr. Cummings behind closed door and say, Alex, let us talk. Even Alex said no, but negotiate, make the move. Alex, we need to put a team together. Let's put a team. Forget about Bwaka. Nobody needs to know about it. Nobody needs to know about it. It's not against the law. Mr. Bwaka can call Alex and say, my man, let's put a team together. I want you to go as my VP. Then there will be an understanding between them. But you can be running all over the place and telling Mr. Cummings, hello, Mr. Bwaka, my name is Alexander Cummings. Can I go with you as VP? I myself will not support Mr. Cummings. So why Mr. Cummings should go tell his supporters? Mr. Cummings coming with his own plans. Then you just say Mr. Cummings will abandon it. He into this tournament. So you telling me like Lone Star qualified for World Cup. By the time Lone Star get there, they say, my man, you know you will not win the World Cup. Just take last place. Then you say, okay, I will take the last place and go home. You don't know when you go to World Cup, you're equal. You don't know that all the political parties, the one who took last place and the first place, you don't know they're equal. According to NEC, they are equal. If you think you're more than me, why you pay more money? You must say came to the collaboration. I pay father, you pay father. Eh? They didn't say that because of you. If you know within yourself, you Liberty partner, say yourself, Mr. Cummings, he ain't get sense. Your who came second place. If you know within yourself that you were strong enough, you are not supposed to be part of the coalition too. Because you people was dead. See people the one that kept you people alive. See people was done. No money, no lajan, nothing. Mr. Bwaka was not going to hold CPP together. Even Liberty Party was going to die. Because by the time Bromskin gave it, that's it. If not because of ability, if not because of Musa ability, Liberty Party finished. They came and pay their dues. They don't refuse to pay his due. Yombi refused to pay their due. How do they expect to operate? If not because of ability, by the time Liberty Party gone, UP owned, they were finished. That because of the CPP that kept them alive. Oh yes. That is CPP. If you know that you strong, you came second, why you join the CPP? Oh, you see, and you see how we wicked. We're looking at Mr. Cummings. Oh, Mr. Cummings, who you said I'm nothing. He ain't relevant. Why you pointing the CPP? Why you beg Mr. Cummings to come to the CPP? Then some of the you people vest, they say, Mr. Cummings refused to support Mr. Bwaka. Oh, Mr. Cummings vote for CDC. Well, Mr. Cummings challenge you. Mr. Cummings challenge you. Let Mr. Bwaka come out and say that Cummings did not support me. Cummings gave more money to Mr. Bwaka in the second round than any UP members. I challenge you on that one again. Y'all know Mr. Cummings can get check, eh? Eh? He get record. Oh, this and that. The late Bromsky never endorsed Mr. Bwaka. Ure never endorsed Mr. Bwaka, but he supported Mr. Bwaka. Yombly supported Weah. Ben and other people supported Weah. The other group of people went to Weah. Some people went to United Party because they didn't trust them. They didn't trust United Party, so they went to George Weah. Why you didn't get vest? Y'all say because Mr. Cummings never endorsed. He refused to endorse Mr. Bwaka. That's why Mr. Bwaka lost the election. So if Mr. Cummings refused yesterday, 2017, he refused to endorse Mr. Bwaka, and Mr. Bwaka lost. Come 2023, if Mr. Cummings refused to endorse Bwaka, will Bwaka win again? No, he will not win. You got the message now. If Mr. Cummings, they cry every day, Wallace, George Lobo, they said that if Mr. Cummings were going to come up publicly to endorse Mr. Bwaka, all the Liberty ANC people are going to vote for Mr. Bwaka. So, and let me tell you, the 124,000 votes or 12 votes for Mr. Cummings, they are all committed voters. People who vote for opposition and loss, that vote is committed. They're not no vote. People who sometimes vote for ruling party, some of them are there because when they lose them, but so if Mr. Cummings are going to endorse and say, listen, I here endorse Mr. Bwaka, then more people are going to vote for Mr. Bwaka. Okay. But you say Mr. Cummings not nothing. Mr. Cummings, nobody know you. You nothing. That the same man, you say, Liberty Party, ANC, that the fastest growing party. And we said it before. Okay. So, if we endorsed you yesterday and you lost, the time now that you're not giving grant, the time was nothing. I came into politics 18 months before the election. I had 112,000 or 24,000 votes. 124,000 votes. And I'm nothing. I took 5th place. You say because I endorse you, you lost. Now as something, I'm a big man now. When I talk, the people listen, my name all on the radio station. Every newspaper, my name inside. If I don't endorse you 2023, will you win the election? No. If you go against George Weah, if we don't endorse you, George Weah will be again. If I go against George Weah, I will win George Weah. Because you know what? The Liberian people from the other party, they know that they see change. Mr. Cummings, that new man. George Weah will try you for you fail, so that Mr. Cummings. But when Mr. Bwaka come against George Weah in our second round, if we don't support you, George Weah will win. Because you know why we can support Mr. Boaka too? Because Mr. Boaka is surrounded with a bunch of corrupt people who spoiled Liberia a long time ago. Come on, I feel bad now. That's the truth. If you come with George Weah and Tier 1 Gonglo, the Liberian people will say, but Mr. George Weah will give you time. I think we'll try the other new man here. If you put George Weah against Cassette, we'll say, George Weah, you try, but I think we'll try Mr. Cassette too. If you put Mr. Cassette and Mr. Cummings, then you know say Mr. Boaka and Mr. Cummings been around, he now show us everything, he now teach us. Mr. You new, but you just coming too. You see that? So they don't want to get a new song. You just coming. You're not bad, but you just coming. Tier 1, we'll put it so. Tier 1, you been in Labrador long time, you work with Ellie, you did it. You're a good man, Tier 1. You're a very good man. We understand. But yet they say we ain't see nothing much that really convinced or you almost like Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was MVP in the Sunday, but he was not marketable. So I think Mr. Cummings got the connection, he got the know-how, and this and that. Bam. If you put Mr. Cummings and Mr. Boaka in the final, it's a wrap. If you put Mr. Boaka and Mr. Cummings in the final, it's a wrap. All the people from CDC will vote for Mr. Cummings instead of voting for UP. So, my people, look, I don't ask you to buy what I'm saying, but I'm telling you, because you know why? Wisdom is something we don't pay for. You must sit down and pray to God and get it. But it's not sounding right in some of your mind, Sunday garden ear. It's not sounding too good. It's not sounding good. George Weah and the CDC they are convinced, and we have heard it from our friends who within the CPP, in the CDC. Their fear is to run against Mr. Cummings because they don't know what to say. Mr. Weah will never in his dream debate with Mr. Cummings. Oh no, you ain't hear that one yet. You ain't hear that one. If Mr. Weah cannot even have a meeting with Mr. Cummings, for them to sit down and talk like a man, like a politician, to speak on real issues, you can't do it now. How can you debating? Oh yeah, Mr. Boaka can debate Mr. Cummings. Mr. Euro can debate Mr. Cummings. Mr. Tiawan Gongo can debate Mr. Cummings. But Mr. Weah will not do it. Mr. Weah can't do it. To be frank. And you see what people don't understand? It's not about what you know. The one you know is what you say. If you know the real issue, you can say it. I'm not an economist. When you can kind of interview me and talk about the economy, you talk about, I can tell you about whatsoever, but I can give my little one I know and give it to you. You think Barack Obama, he's an economist? No. But the little one they know, they read about it and they say it. When that time pass, it pass. You know what I'm saying? But will Joshua want to debate? Can Joshua tell the Liberian what his plans are? What they plan to do, what he did yesterday, and what he continue to do? But Joshua just promised us in a whole state of union address. And people start clapping. I will build market in Nima County. I will build school in Bombing Hills. I will build market in this place here. We'll put a small mini station in Lofa County. He promising the people. Re-election based on your performance. Re-election based on your performance. The first election that the people give it to you, they either like you and they try you. When you fail, you own your own. And Unity Party fail the people. So two things we got option. We either keep the one we have now or we move forward. That election, I can't blame you on that one there. I can't blame you. But I don't want for people to say that President Weah got the election. President Weah go with anybody in the second round. Not anybody now. President Weah go with any new faces. Any new face. Any new face he go in the second round, they will lose the election. Liberian people will vote against President Weah. The only people that will vote for George Weah are the rare one who you can go up and count down. They love George Weah. They love George Weah no matter what. Yeah. That Liberian people they can feel sorry for people. They say, "Hey man, I'm sorry for that man now. I'm sorry for that man." No, because Liberian people know already. They're not going to waste their time because that's what we're going to tell the people. We gave the man the time. We agree, President. We have faced the role. We agree. We are happy. We're happy for it. Whether the role good or not, whether it's a long-term role, he fixed the role. We agree that President, we are government build market house. We agree. It's fine. We agree. We agree that President, we are wearing bought a small light bulb and put it in the street to see that light. No, you don't bring light. Still, there's no light. People stealing current. LEC can make it. Only the management making the money and keeping it to themselves. Healthcare, bad. People are dying in the hospital because of nothing. Security for the people, no. They're raping our children, we can't say nothing. They talk about the first lady, that time you see the gender minister, I will fire you the same day. All the time they rape the 13-year-old girl. We hear nothing about president. Look, that's the one that really got to me. President Weah should take things personal. President Weah should take things personal. How can President Weah be in Liberia and on the news they talk about the 13 years old girl that died and our president can't even utter a war? You got this man raping a girl in the house every day. The lady die. Eh? President Weah can't utter a war. So, President Weah, I don't know that the other people children are 9 months. His own children are 9 months. You don't know Cham went 9 months. Everybody, look, if you president, your child will enjoy. Your child will enjoy, but you are the father of a nation. When any child who is touched, right, it should be a responsibility. The president will be very personal. Very, very personal. No pick and choose. Eh? We got a foreign minister who they accused for sexual harassment. He's still working. But let's go back to our children, our girls. Some of the girls then they can get a job in Liberia because one minister want to sleep with them and they refuse, they gotta leave. Some of them today can't even find a job, they must prostitute to find something. It's shameful. You won't tell me, President, we can know about it? Big as America is. Things happen in a country, the president take it personal. Eh? Our little girls. There was a girl who hang herself. They said the girl hang herself 9 years old in Bon County. Eh? They see the other woman in the street, they rape her, they kill her. People taking law into their hands. We can't even hear. Look, Liberians love to hear from two persons. Their pastors, their leaders. Finish. For President Weah, it's not even giving ultimatum. He's not even giving zero tolerance. He talk about corruption and they only fire people that don't even know. Eh? Killing people, children. Raping people, children. That 13 years old girl that won't get to me. Why should that man even be standing by this time? Never ever to see daylight. Citizen killing criminals now. Citizen burning criminal life alive. They stealing telephone. Whether they are criminal or they're not criminal. But the fact is that the one who they sort of burn out, the one who's stealing the good money. Eh? You think if they put their foot down for these criminals? Yeah, look. Oh God, Jesus Christ. This is sad. There is no way you can tell me, President, we don't know. But you are in the street demonstrating because Ava talked about vagina. Because Ava and the other people wrote in the book about vagina, and that book praised President We are from day up all the way up. Because President We are said, man, this girl, I love the girl, I will marry the girl because the girl knocked me off. Yeah, the girl know how to bam. The girl know how to do this. You want to bam bam? You want to chill with the big boss? Yeah? He said it. Joshua was 25 years old when he got married. 25, maybe less than that. Joshua was 25, 26 when he got married. Men do that. Men can talk to their friend, men and say, my man, you see that girl, I get ready, freak me out. My man, I get good in bed. But that's the man never discussed about his wife when she was first lady. So the women then who demonstrated, who went to Mr. Cummings and Mr. Cummings will apologize. Why Mr. Cummings should apologize for something that somebody wrote about? Eh? But you ain't able to go in the street to go demonstrate, to go to the gender minister and tell say resign now because this is nonsense. to tell the president, say, Mr. President, our children are dying, and you're not saying nothing, but you carry yourself to go demonstrate. Women too, you're the problem. You're a serious problem. The women are the foundation of any good nation. That is why this time around, people cherish women. They say behind every successful man, there's a hard working woman. Yes, hard working woman. But we sit there, we lie, we speak on nonsense that is not even necessary. This other man beat the boy and cut the boy tongue. For what? For what? That is why Liberia is so vulnerable. People pretending they're going there, they're giving money and whatsoever to other organizations because they want to take power too. That's why I'm blaming Stanton. Tomorrow, if Stanton decide to get into politics, so nobody can tell you, say, but what you did for us? So Stanton wasting the money. Stanton gave CO $6,850 and $60. Is that group registered? Are they registered? No. I don't know if they register with government. And watch it. Y'all will hear the noise. So they're going to fight with that money. They in one small little place to their tire place there, around where they had the fire service place, right in that little place, sweating the place. Stanton gave them $6,850. That's what he gave them. If I'm mistaken, he gave the highest money to any intellectual center than anything. So now, this is where Stanton is a public figure. So talking about Stanton ain't mean that you hate him. But this is where, if I was closer to Stanton, I'd say you make a big mistake, my brother. There are other intellectual centers around the country. They will be waiting for you now to go to get them the money too. These people are not registered. They are not registered. They're supposed to be like a 401k, I'm sorry, 51c3, non-for-profit. No, they're smart. They got smart people in that era that know the day-to-day issues. They are very, very smart. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Hold on, I gotta pick up the call. Hold on 1 minute. Hello? Yeah. What happened? What he say? That old tape. They went to go today, yeah, but I ain't listen to this. I mean, everybody just talking that thing. That whole case that will be over. But let me finish, yeah? I'll soon be done. All these things we're talking about, the government, they get what, 6,850 bucks. I hope they fight for money itself. And which a good thing, he's of I admire him giving people, helping the Zogos, helping his community. That's a good thing you do. So even if you decide to run for office tomorrow, nobody going to tell you, say, oh, you never came here to us, you never visited us. So I don't blame him. I don't blame him. And if he decide to run for office, that's his right. That's his right. You know what I'm saying? That's his right to run for office. So let us not talk about whether he want to contest, whether he do want to contest. I will tell you that he's right to do that. You understand? So that is no problem to it. So Stanton free. If the people decide to ask him to contest, that's his right. There's nothing wrong with that. I can tell anybody. But and which is a good thing. I'm gonna say if I get money right now, if I got money right now, I will try to help my community too. Although I'm doing a little bit, but I'm not helping our community. I'm helping individuals and whatsoever. But you got to understand your Liberian setting. And Liberians, if you up there and you just abandon them, and there are two ways. You can be the people who are nice to the people. They will still like you. You see, Joshua, I will tell you for free. If anybody, Joshua did nothing for Liberia, in Liberia, apart from playing football. George Weah never put one word down. He never divide rice to say to the people when George Weah to come, Amos Soyotan. George Weah never purchased rice and divide. George Weah never had party for the children. Even Cloud Weah, they never did nothing like that. You can show me one project that was done in the name of President Weah. At that time, he was soccer player George Weah. No. But we love him because he played football. They got some people who went to Liberia and spent money, and Liberian people get in the finger. They even help themselves. So it both ways. So they got some people who got the money they were spending, and trust me, Liberian people good at eating money. Oh. Liberian people are very good at eating money. Everybody will bow down to you. They will pray to you. They will do this to you. Look, it's so bad until when you're running for office. They got the pastor association. I will pray for you. You got to get them money. They got they got the Zogo association now. They got the Shoe Shine association. They got the Bosco. All these groups will start coming to you. Oh, this and that. And not only the leader then will come to you. You will not see the people there. They got another group called the intellectual thinkers. The intellectual thinkers, they say they in the 17th district, the 3 district, and 17th district. They call it the intellectual thing. And they say, oh, the office will get a banner you up or that banner you bought that and pay for that office. And they don't want to think. They get the economic fighters. They got the economic fighters, freedom fighters, all kinds of people. Look, there's so many, and that's so choppy. You go talk to economic freedom fighter. We went there. Dixon Doe was the one we sent to represent me. I went somewhere that day. He carried to them 100,000 liberty. I want to get it. Like brother, funny place. Oh, like brother is a funny place. That the time they can have queen contest, then they will come to you and say you must pull up the price. What you want for the price? We want one car. Eh! You see why our officials then agree they corrupt? If you allow me to spend all these things, and let me tell you, for in District 17, they bought plan to have a rally, to have a show. He came to me and said, okay, not knowing this show this ball going to have, we supposed to sponsor the everything. He came to me, he said, oh, and he brought a list. We supposed to pay for the DJ, we supposed to pay for the place. They bought, I thought, wait. He said he wanted for my brother to come there and be part of it. You know, okay, we say we made it. But this board told me that we should pay for the DJ. So everything that they were doing there, it came to almost, I think, $900. I said, but you decide to have a show. You say, or how do you call it? Say, Jamboree. But why I should sponsor the Jamboree? They wanted pickup. I'm gonna get them pickup to put their sound bar in it to go around and be, to advertise everything. Oh, then we'll put your brother picture on it. This other guy had a karate tournament. He's a karate expert, black belt. He had a karate tournament when I go low. You say, Joe, we did karate. I will fight karate. They gave my brother a karate belt. We went to the place. They start fighting. The two men who sort of fight, they start bluffing. The train got ready. They say my brother, they say they want their money. They start disturbing and that man place in Hotel Africa. What the guy said, the guy who owned Hotel Africa, the guy from Club Beer, he operating part of the Hotel Africa beach area there. My brother had to go and get money and put the children in line. 200. Get the money to walk in 200. I say, you see that? The people who organize their own program, they go on that. You don't want to pay now. Now they tell you, say, you see, we'll vote for you. They put you on platform. Liberia, the place is corrupt until the children because their role models are corrupt. Eh? Hassan Kiazulu. Hassan Kiazulu paid $10 for vote per person. Hassan Kiazulu told them plain blank. He said, Jeremy, you got to give me time. Oh. I got to recuperate. You know I pay for the vote. The children went there, they took pictures in the booth and they brought it and they gave them the bottom $5. The how corrupt. Now they don't want Kiazulu anymore. They don't need him. They don't need him because he have not done anything. He's trying to get his money back. He ain't get the money yet. He's still hustling to get the money. Now he up for re-election. Now they're looking for different person. CDC want to carry the speaker, the deputy speaker. because he lived in that area. The one from Grand Crew. They want him to run in District 17 to win that seat because he lived there. Dixon, Sibo lived there too. Yombly lived there too in District 17. That place Ada Lawrence was living, but he was representing Looking Town. The country is damn corrupt. Sir Joseph was living, he used to sleep to Belecasa Hotel. But he had a little room, a Konoflomo place there in the estate. He just built a house now in Dwason too. Right near that the only house your boy built. He never built that only one house Sir Joseph got. Although my IE president now. Liberia, look. Our people themselves, it's a sad thing. But anyway, Liberia for politics, this is our last time, talking. In 2023, if they can't get it right, then it's up to them. That means we should understand that Liberians are not into trouble. And I don't think we'll be prepared to help anybody. Even if my relative vote wrong, and you in Liberia, you just pray to God, you must get a job with the government and be enjoying yourself. But I don't got nothing to do with you because you got to make that decision. To stop corruption is on you. To vote for a better president is on you. I only got one vote. That's all I can do. I can talk, but I only got one vote. I don't have nothing more than one vote. So even my own relative, I can talk to my relative. They might want to vote for somebody else. But if we can't get it right for the second time, then let's just let it go. So there is nothing wrong if Joshua win for the second time. It's up to who all want to believe it or who all want to accept it. It's up to them. We just have to wait again. So guys, y'all have a good day. God bless you. Let me just play back. And I will play 2, 1. The first one, let me just listen to Yuri again, praising Mr. Cummings, and then listen to some of his lies, and then we can go. And I want to listen to something.
Bring you greetings from the All Liberian Party. Firstly, we want to use this opportunity to congratulate Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummings for his stewardship of the collaboration over the past 8 months. Mr. Cummings, we at the All Liberian Party want to seize this opportunity to congratulate you for what we believe was a job well done. And people, it's very difficult to control 4 political parties, all having ambition, all wanting positions, and all with diversity of views. And we want to use this occasion not only to congratulate you, Mr. Cummings, but to recognize your style of leadership, always calm and collected. Even when you are being attacked, you still exhibit that. So we want to congratulate you. We bring you greetings from the All Liberian Party. Firstly, we want to use this opportunity to congratulate Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummings for his stewardship of the collaboration over the past 8 months. Mr. Cummings, we at the All Liberian Party want to seize this opportunity to congratulate you for what we believe was a job well done. And people, it's very difficult to control 4 political parties, all having ambition, all wanting positions, and all with diversity of views. And we want to use this occasion not only to congratulate you, Mr. Cummings, but to recognize your style of leadership, always calm and collected. Even when you are being attacked, you still exhibited that. So we want to congratulate you. Look, we signed a framework document. May 19th, the framework document was signed. Copies of that document should have been forwarded to each political party, because there were 5 copies we signed, one for each political party and one to be taken to NEC. As of today's date, we have not received our copies of the framework document. I was informed by somebody in NEC. All of my sources in this whole process. It's a funny television show that people go on and make all kinds of remarks about people. And I was informed by somebody in NEC that the document that was submitted to NEC was a photocopy of. I turned on my television one evening and I heard people quoting things from the framework document that nobody would be able to leave. And even if you leave, you would not be able to fuel a candidate into the elections. I was informed by somebody in NEC that the document that was submitted to NEC was a photocopy of. Then that morning, I called my chairman and I told him I wanted a copy of all the framework documents that he had. As of today's date, we have not received our copies of the framework document. He immediately forwarded them to me. I called Liberty Party's vice chair. I wanted his copy of all the framework documents, that he had in his possession. As of today's date, we have not received our copies of the framework document. And both of them, forwarded those documents to me. I went through the documents and I said, wow, this is serious. Because the lawyers did do an amendment of the framework document, and they did it under our advice and consent. The amended copy, we have copies of. As of today's date, we have not received our copies of the framework document. It still wasn't a document that was filed into NEC. Make this crystal clear to you. We did sign a framework document. 4 political parties signed a framework document. And under his leadership, he convinced us that there was a need to have lawyers look at the document and put it in legal perspective. We agreed. So the process began. The last we heard of it is we had a meeting at Liberty Party's headquarters, and the lawyers all showed up. Most of them showed up, and they brought to our attention all the major changes they made in the framework document, and they explained why. And we all concurred. Because the lawyers did do an amendment of the framework document, and they did it under our advice and consent. The amended copy, we have copies of. Now it was left for them, for the chairman and the executive committee or who are working on this document to have gone back and compiled the document. After compilation of the document should have been brought back to each political party. And the political party executive committee, we have met and approved or disapproved of the document. In the instance where all the executive committee approve of it, then the political leaders would have signed the document and the amended document and taken to next. That didn't happen. Because the lawyers did do an amendment of the framework document, and they did it under our advice and consent. The amended copy, we have copies of. And we must work together to ensure that we don't disappoint the Liberian people.
The document itself carries May 19. The document coming submitted, the type of the document, the date on the document is May 19. They post signed the original document on what? April 25th. The document coming signing May 19 on the document.
May 19, the framework document was signed.
The document itself carries May 19th, while the notarized page carries two different dates, and the confirmation of receipt by NEC has a date that is different from the submission date. The document itself carries May 19. The document coming submitted, the type of the document, the date on the document is May 19. They post signed the original document on what? April 25th. The document coming signing May 19 on the document.
May 19, the framework document was signed.
The day you turned over was the day the document was signed. They post signed the original document on what? April 25th. The document coming signing May 19 on the document.
May 19, the framework document was signed.
The day you turned over was the day the document was signed. So you could have known, by all means, you of all people should have known, if such a provision was in that agreement saying that nobody can pull out, and if you pull out, you can't fill the candidate in your own party's name.
Yeah.
You would have known. But then
Definitely.
all of a sudden, you're sitting out there and you're hearing people discussing this thing on some show that nobody can take. The thing is an ironclad agreement. You're in it forever. And then you get alarmed. And then you send for the copies, and then you realize this was the case. What then did you do?
They were informed by somebody in NEC that the document that was submitted to NEC was a photocopy.
Then I called next. That and the question I asked is, do you have an original copy of the was informed? No.
I was informed by somebody in NEC that the document that was submitted to NEC was a photocopy of a.
The right to remain in any gathering, organization, or whatever it is a right given to you as a Liberian by the Constitution. And nobody can take that away. No
And
one
you can
can
leave
force
whenever
you
you
to
want to leave.
Yeah. No can't force you to leave.
That's the Constitution.
And you've been referenced as one of the souls of people who actually killed that vision. What is your response?
It is true. That was my vision. From the very onset, when the CPP was established, was created.
It is clear that the CPP has crashed, has crumbled. In the middle of a fight against your most powerful opponent, you guys are shooting yourself. It's one thing to go your separate way. So it looked like not only a self-destructive impulse, but it looked like people look like they are paid to help the ruling party to succeed. They're fighting the strongest guy, the weakest guy. Let's destroy everybody before we meet our opponent. But here's my question to you, Costa. You ask yourself the question: in this crisis, there are people who represent the problem, represent the solution. There are many people who think that you represent a problem in CPP, and that the extremists on both sides, on all sides, the four major sides, hijack the process, and the moderate will step back and say the extremists now have the largest voice. Their voices are drawn out other moderate voices. So they represent you. You say you don't have influence. Influence has transatlantic effect. You can influence in millions of miles. So people believe that Costa was a major player hijacking the process. His voice is a bigger voice that drone out other voices, and you shift the things. And to that extent now, is there a sense of regret that, oh, maybe I should not have been as extreme as I was? Maybe I should have been more moderate. Maybe I should look at the feature of CPP than a Costa subduing potential opponent who stand in the way. What is the argument? What would you respond?
Again, we're politicians. We're not in a nunnery or a monastery. Politics is ruthless. You know, it's a ruthless competition of ideas and interests. And so when you are in politics, Stanton, you use everything you've got to submit or to subdue your opponent. If it is a powerful voice, you use it to drive your narrative and your agenda. But here is the thing. I did nothing beyond saying what I felt was right. For a long time, you never heard me making noise. But when they infighting, all I did was to defend and promote my candidate. Did I say some serious stuff? Of course I did.
So H, let me ask you a question now. Why should the Liberian people trust the new arrangement? Why should the Liberian people build their hope again after you guys broke their heart? Why?
Stanton, let me tell you something. This is politics. The people who support us still support us.
But trust you. The new arrangement with which group?
The UP is going to leave, yes.
Okay, thank you.
But they are going to leave. Some of us will push to ensure that on the onset of the formation of this new political arrangement, it is made unambiguously clear that Joseph Human Boakai will be our candidate for president. At the very beginning, Stanton. If you like it, you join us. You don't like it, you don't join us.
So Joe Boakai did not condemn tribalism because Joe Boakai is a sadistic, unrepentant, unapologetic, tribalistic old man. That is what Joe Boakai is, and that is the only thing Joe Boakai knows how to do because he exploits tribalism. So, well, I just
not going to change. Joe Boakai has no fresh ideas. Joe Boakai is not able to run this country. He's a dead man walking. He's a dead man walking, and I cannot support a dead man walking.
If you have presidential aspiration, you're going to have to wait. But Joe Boakai, it will be stated very clearly at the very beginning before you join us. And it will be stated in our manifesto or our arrangement, our framework document. It will be stated clearly that he is the candidate. And so the position for standard bearership would be already occupied from the.
So Joe Boakai did not condemn tribalism because Joe Boakai is a sadistic, unrepentant, unapologetic, tribalistic old man. That is what Joe Boakai is, and that is the only thing Joe Boakai knows how to do because he exploits tribalism. So, well, I just
not going to change. Joe Boakai has no fresh ideas. Joe Boakai is not able to run this country. He's a dead man walking. He's a dead man walking, and I cannot support a dead man walking.
In the midst of all this confusion, in the midst of this implosion, how is it he's been silent, and what does that say?
The case of the ALP is no longer a CPP case. Benana Ure and his party, our party, has pulled out, gentlemen. It is not Joe Boakai's. If Joe Boakai has no fish to fry in this oyster.
Your party didn't pull out of the CPP. There is nothing written that you guys have left the CPP. Your party made a request to leave through your chairman. Am I correct?
No, you are wrong.
Show me something that you left CPP.
Stanton.
Yeah.
Our party has pulled out. We left. The CPP, like every marriage or union or arrangement, falls under the jurisdiction of the Liberian Constitution, which allows you to freely associate and freely.
What do you have to show to the Liberian people that
we
you
have
left the CPP?
We have left the CPP, and we are communicating with the National Elections Commission to inform them officially that we have left.
No, you put in a request to leave. That's the press
no,
release
you don't put in a request, Stanton. You're using the wrong diction.
Do you know? I can read that. No. Ish. I can read your letter to you. Your letter from your party instructing your chairman
to leave. No, we did not make a request to leave.
The last press statement that we received from ALP, you instructed your chairman that he should withdraw ALP from CPP.
And where the decision and the vote was taken to pull out, then the executive committee communicated with the national chairman of our party to inform me to initiate the proceedings to pull us out. Who then writes the NEC to say our party is withdrawing from the CPP. So that is the. So
what's the letter to the NEC? What's the letter to the NEC? Once again, do you have anything written to Joseph Yeman Barker as chairman for CPP or the National Election Commission to tell us today that you are all of CPP? To show to the Liberians today that you are all of CPP?
Yes.
Are you saying, therefore, that Boycott can go alone towards WIA and win by himself?
We're not going alone. We're forming a team.
Okay. So, Costa, I'm going to take a detour and then come back to our path. Are you still going to run for Mosserado County's senatorial seat in 2023?
I'm not focused on that right now, and I will not speak to that right now. I have not decided.
Because what I see is the confidence with which you used to talk about it. That confidence has diminished. You think it's going to be an uphill battle? It's going to be a difficult fight?
My confidence has not shaken by 1 inch. It has not diminished. All I'm doing right now is because the Boycott camp depends on me heavily to propagate the message, and I'm focused more on the presidency than on my own bid. If I were to redirect my focus to my own bid for senator, at this point, it would undermine the real big picture, which is taking the executive mansion and helping to make Joe Boycott president. So I'm simply focused on that now as opposed to my own political interest.
Second question is, obviously, for any contender or potential contender against you in 2023, who says since Joseph Boakai, issues will be as significant as time inches closer, it means that he's not going to run, and they will be right. They will be in the right mind because you're going to be as significant to Boakai campaign from now to 2023. And the more when that moment inches closer, it means that you're not going to run. So the takeaway is, I'm not going to run because I'm going to focus on Joseph Boakai, or I'm not going to run. I did not say that.
It's because the Boakai camp depends on me heavily to propagate the message, and I'm focused more on the presidency. Because the Boycott camp depends on me heavily to propagate the message, and I'm focused more on the presidency. Because the Boycott camp depends on me heavily to propagate the message, and I'm focused more on the presidency than on my own bid. If I were to redirect my focus to my own bid for senator, at this point, it would undermine the real big picture, which is taking the executive mansion and helping to make Joe Boycott president. So, but I have not made I have decided at this point right now, I'm waiting. But Stanton, let me break another thing to you. And I'm an insider. Stanton, let me break another thing to you. And I'm an insider. I'm very close with Joe Boycott. I'm one of his confidants, and he calls me that. I'm not the one who calls myself that. I will tell you this. And because I'm a confidant, there are many things he tells me that I cannot say here. But I'll say this to you. And there are many things he tells me that I cannot say here. But I'll say this to you. There was a time. If Alice Cummings had accepted to say, look, Joe, you're my older brother. I've known you for many years. I've got lots of respect for you. You ran, you came second place with 500,000 votes. I came fifth place with 112,000 votes. You've been in this thing for 25 years. I just came in 2016. I have money. You don't have money, but you got the people, and I'm just coming. Let's pair up together and form one ticket and run together. You win this thing, you serve one term, you know you're much older than I am. You do one term, I'm younger, I can take over, and I can continue. If you decide to enter politics today, you think just because of your money, you should trump the other people who've been around much longer than you, more popular than you, who have a team more political gravitas than you. Reverend Martin, you think that's the way it works in any sector? Seniority counts. You can come and tell the man who's been around for 25 years, who got 500,000 votes, and you got 100,000 votes, and you tell him to abandon his ambition for you because the only thing you bring to the table, you have money. So there was a time, if they had had that understanding, if Cummings had made that proposition to Joe Boakai, they would have formed a ticket, and not even Henry Costa could do anything about that, Reverend Martin. Not even Henry Costa could dare act stupid to criticize Joe Boakai or to attack such a ticket. That ticket would have been able to beat George Weah first round.
Process, what you say is a level playing field. And you are basically saying the process is rigged in favor of one person. Why would Cummings go to a process? He declared he wants to be president and then say, I want to be vice president. You said there was a framework process where you go through first you go through the consensus by the political leaders, you go through a VPS and go through a primary convention. Why would you invite somebody to a level playing field into a process that's supposed to be free and fair, and you tell them to relinquish their ambition for you? So it means that you should have, go back to you. So you went to a process that were not honest. You basically wanted this guy to say, okay, at the end of the day, I'll be vice president. The other person. So what I'm trying to say is that your argument is chronically flawed, because what it says to me is that it was not an honest process. It's what you were thinking, but you decided to say we're going to fake and pretend there's going to be a level playing field, and then we're going to have a coronation. There's not going to be a competition. We're just going to have a coronation and crown one person king and crown the other person as a messenger.
Let me ask you a question, Katama.
Right.
And Katama, my brother, Katama. Listen, gentlemen, let's be realistic. This is life. I mean, let's be realistic. This is life. You look at a man who got 500,000 votes, who got greater name recognition than you, and look at you. Listen,
of course, you should have told me in the beginning.
We don't need to tell you.
Hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute.
You want me to answer the question, guys?
Yeah, answer the question.
They made a mistake.
Okay, that's
fair. At the very onset made a mistake. Okay, so even say that the man who came second place should be considered equal with the man who came fifth place or sixth place, it was a blunder.
I mean, ALP is out. Then why ALP suing Cummings? They are out of CPP. Let it go.
We don't need to be in CPP to sue Cummings. Cummings took the signature page from the first agreement they signed on May 19th.
It's all CPP now.
They post signed the original document on what? April 25th. The document Cummings signing May 19th on the document.
Cummings took the signature page from the first agreement they signed on May 19th.
It's all CPP now.
May 19th, the framework document was signed.
The document itself carries May 19th, while the notarized page carries two different dates, and the confirmation of receipt by NEC has a date that is different from the submission date. The document itself carries May 19th. The document Cummings submitted, the type of the document, the date on the document is May 19th.
We're not suing for alterations.
Your lawsuit is not talking about forgery on the signature page.
No, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about alterations, Stanton. You haven't read
No. Then go back to the rate of arrest, Costa.
Our lawsuit is talking about the forgery.
Your lawsuit is talking about the exit clause. Serena Seaforth included something that is so wrong on the rate of arrest. They are talking about the exit clause.
You're not a lawyer.
Katama brought something important out. He said there was a weasel in terms of how you guys started. Look at how this suit has popularized Cummings in the eyes of many.
Popularized Cummings. Cummings was sort of sit on there like Henry Costa. There are pictures of Costa in handcuffs. Pictures of Henry Costa sitting on a prisoner bench. There are pictures of Henry Costa going to prison.
Is that what you want from Cummings?
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you and know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon.
Where do you think we are with Mr. Cummings going to court and everything surrounding him on the framework document? UA is suing him because of forgery. Talk to us, please.
I think we're not doing well. We're not selling well, Mother May. It's unfortunate. I didn't envisage this. It's not what the forefather envisages. It's not what Broskin saw. I think it's unfortunate. We should become this far. And in my mind, too, my earnest thing is that I don't think government chief prosecutor should jump to the thing as though it's a priority. I mean, there are several priority issues. There are several cases in the docket. Why want to fast track this? I know that when there is forgery or the application, then you don't issue with the state. But that's an issue that you don't make a law that is priority. Let all the junior legal partners with at the prosecution unit handle that. But when you make a law like you got something at stake, you make a law like a determination of that case. If it's not done, the sky will fall. I got a problem with that. But another thing too, I got a problem with too. I also think that the ANC did not handle Cummings well. They did not handle him well. They did not help to navigate and taking to a civil learning. Somewhere in between, there are too much slips, leakages. I mean, that's my own personal opinion. And so I would think that we can put this behind us so that the CP can live a true meaning. There are those invisible hands, and I can see their fingerprint on it. They do not want to see the CPP. So they are paying the CPP, got different motive, different intention. So they want to, the least opportunity waiting for to disintegrate the CPP, they will go for it. And someone has actually two colors.
Let me ask you a question. The lawsuit said that Mr. Ure said, listen, the document you presented to NEC, I didn't sign it, or the one that I signed, you didn't submit it. You submitted something different. Did you, Senator Steve Zacko, sign on any document? Framework document?
Oh yeah,
did you sign on the revised version of the framework document?
When the revised version came in, there was a tussle within the Liberty Party, you remember now. But the first one I do remember. But I don't know the second one, because of this thing, chairmanship, read my rule, hello Balu, so I had to jog my mind to be able to get a concrete answer. But but again, let me come back to, there are those who, from the onset, knew that a formidable CPP would be the end of CDC. A formidable CPP would make a CDC a 110. So they infiltrated our rank and file earlier. They infiltrated it. They knew all sorts of.
No. I just want to get something clear, Senator.
I told you yes, one, but no, the second one. I told you yes.
Okay.
I did sign on, but the revised, we had a problem in Liberty Partner. So I don't know if I signed that or the young man who was chair at the time did sign. So we need to look at
okay, so you said the first one. The first one was the original document. You signed on the original document.
So again, when you talk,
the original one, May 19th.
At some point in time, we had a COVID, and
did you sign on the May 19th document?
May 19,
2020.
I would think if I was chairman, then I did.
So you did. Okay.
Yes.
And then this issue about the job clocks that CPP participant with only that issue came about. So then you guys send it back for them to revise it. Am I correct?
So at that time now, at that time, I was not in the core of the CPP ups and downs. At some point in time, you saw her and you like yes, somehow I was not a chair again, and it's history today what transpired.
No, I understand. I just want to bring us to, you signed on the first document, but the revised version you didn't sign on it. Is that what you are saying?
Like I said, I would jog my mind, but I would think most likely.
So you agree that you signed on only one document?
I'm certain that I signed on one document, but on the next one, I had to jog my mind.
The one document was it. The one document that you signed on, is that the document that Mo Ali passed around, that Mo Ali took around? Is that the same document you signed on?
I would think yes.
The one document was it. The one document that you signed on, is that the document that Mo Ali passed around, that Mo Ali took around? Is that the same document you signed on?
I would think yes.
The one document was it. The one document that you signed on, is that the document that Mo Ali passed around, that Mo Ali took around? Is that the same document you signed on?
I would think yes.
So did you see Mo Ali? Did he present any document to you?
Yeah. Mo Ali came to my house. I do remember, and I
So
signed.
Mo Ali went to your house and you signed
Yeah.
a document that he
Yeah.
presented to you.
Although one of the documents Mo Ali brought to us, and then but the final version, we did it through Zoom. But my political leader and I were together on that, and we signed together. Yes.
So did you see Mo Ali? Did he present any document to you?
Yeah. Mo Ali came to my house. I do remember, and I
So
signed.
Mo Ali went to your house and you signed
Yes.
a document that he
Yeah.
presented to you.
Although one of the documents Mo Ali brought to us, and then but the final version, we did it through Zoom. But my political leader and I were together on that, and we signed together. Yes.
So did you see Mo Ali? Did he present any document to you?
Yeah. Mo Ali came to my house. I do remember, and I
So
signed.
Mo Ali went to your house and you signed
Yes.
a document that he
Yeah.
presented to you.
Although one of the documents Mo Ali brought to us, and then but the final version, we did it through Zoom. But my political leader and I were together on that, and we signed together. Yes.
Okay, so the one that Mo Ali took to you, can you talk to us, please? What kind of document you
No,
remember was it?
I won't be able to talk to you on the details. That'd be earnest. There have been lapse of time, so my memory may not be able to catch the details. So maybe you want to give me some time to check it up and refresh.
How many copies did you sign?
Mr. CEO, I will you now cross-examine me now.
No, I'm not. No, this is just a free yes or no answer if you want.
So the case to some extent is sub judice in the court. I don't want to be specific on answers, but I can give some generality. I do remember that yes, we interacted with Mo Ali. I do remember that there was this one that we needed to sign the political leader are, and then we had a Zoom meeting. Yes, I do remember the details. I won't be able to cross the T and cross the R.
Something came up today, and maybe if we will move away. Let me just ask you this question.
Yeah.
What came up today from the chief of staff of Mr. Cummings, Mr. Azeva Tupa? He outlined some timeline, and he said June 23rd, 2020, CPP and legal advisor review revised framework from legal advisor. All parties approve revision. Are you aware of this? That all the parties agreed to that revision? And how did they approve it though?
Look, and let's be honest, CEO. This whole framework thing was not just done in a uniform manner. I mean, at one point in time we'll go left, at one point in time we'll go right, at one point in time we will come back, at one point in time we'll go in front. So a lot of give and take. And it was acrimonious, it was not a smooth sailing. Had it not been for maybe the maturity of those who initially handled this thing, perhaps the issue will be far bigger than this. Because when you have a political institution, everyone coming into it, everyone got their own ambition, their own what they want. So those specific answers, please, I may not be able to provide it because the chief of officer to the commander took his time and detail all of these things. So my hand not on that document.
You got to go back and look at your notes. So correct. I do agree with you. I do agree with you. We're just trying to, because this what was outlined by the chief of office staff Isaac is very detailed.
Okay,
and well, you just admitted that you signed a document, whether it was the original framework document or it was the revised version. You signed something as chairman for Liberty Party.
stab 'em. Mr. Cummings, stab 'em. Stab 'em. Alexander Cummings, stab 'em. His body explode.
The leaders I love, the leaders I love, the ones I trust so much, they made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. He gave me a leader with love for his people. He gave me a leader who would deliver us from poverty. God look at Liberia with mercy from him high. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stay in my way.
Somebody give me chance.
ABC coming,
Somebody give me chance.
I'm talking the talk and do.
Somebody give me chance.
Talk and do.
Somebody give me chance.
The coming the talk and do.
Somebody give me chance.
For better education,
Somebody give me chance.
for good health system,
Somebody give me chance.
for good infrastructure,
Somebody give me chance.
oh,
Somebody give me chance.
yeah. Way back, you are giving me corporate. Way back, you are giving me small money. Then you tell me say you are coming to face the road. And you tell me say you are coming to face the school. And you tell me say corruption was going to finish. But how come I never see you do nothing? I say how come everything too hard? I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. Please give me a leader with love for these people. Please give me a leader who will deliver from poverty. God look at Liberia with mercy from him high. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stay in my way. Please
Give me chance.
I said get up for him my face.
Somebody give me chance.
ABC coming,
Somebody give me chance.
Alexander B coming,
Somebody give me chance.
he coming with his partner.
Somebody give me chance.
Swalonte, Jeremiah Swalonte,
Somebody give me chance.
Swalonte, Jeremiah Swalonte,
Somebody give me chance.
Jamegu, Lafiegu,
Somebody give me chance.
Jamegu, Lafiegu.
Somebody give me chance.
We talking about talk and do.
Somebody give me
Talk
chance.
and do. We talking about talk and do.
Somebody give me
Talk
chance.
and do. We talking about talk and do.
Somebody give me chance.
I said you tell a plenty talking.
Somebody give me chance.
Talk.
Somebody give me chance.
Talk.
Somebody give me chance.
Oh,
Somebody give me chance.
the leaders I love, the ones I love, the ones I love so much. They made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stay in my way. He gave me my ABC, then you want to stay in my way. He gave me my breakthrough, now you want to stay in my way. Enemies of progress, now you want to stay in my way. Please give me chance. I'm talking about I can do, please give me chance. Alexander B. Cummings, please give me chance. For good education, please give me chance. For good infrastructure, please give me chance. I say good health system, please give me chance. Oh, somebody give me chance.
Give me chance.
The leaders I love, the ones I love, the ones I love so much. They made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. He gave me a leader with love for his people. He gave me a leader who would deliver us from poverty. God look at Liberia with mercy from him high. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stand in my way.
Somebody give me chance.
ABC coming,
Somebody give me chance.
I'm talking the talk and do.
Somebody give me
Talk
chance.
and do. The coming the talk and do.
Somebody give me chance.
For good education,
Somebody give me chance.
for better infrastructure,
Somebody give me chance.
for good health system,
Somebody give me chance.
oh,
Somebody give me chance.
tell a plenty talking.
Somebody give me chance.
Talk.
Somebody give me chance.
I'm talking about talk and do.
Somebody give me
Talk
chance.
and do. The coming the talk and do.
Somebody give me
Talk
chance.
and do. Corruption not in his blood. I talk and do. Stealing not in his blood. The time is
Somebody give me
It
chance.
has nothing with blood. I'm talking the talk and do.
Somebody give me
I talk
chance.
and do. The coming the talk and do.
Somebody give me me chance.
For good education,
Somebody gave me chance.
for better infrastructure,
Somebody gave me chance.
for good health system,
Somebody gave me chance.
oh,
Somebody gave me chance.
development talking,
Somebody gave me chance.
talk.
Somebody gave me chance.
Talk. I'm talking but talking do.
Somebody gave me
Talk
chance.
and do. Mr. Cummings, the talk and do.
Somebody gave me chance.
Talk and do. Corruption that in his blood. I talk and do. Stealing that in his blood. I talk and do. His hands not stained with blood. I talk and do. I'm talking but talk and do.
Somebody gave me chance.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. I'm out, and I'm going to be leaving you guys. And thanks for your time. I appreciate it. And let us share this video. And it's dark now behind me, and I'm just right outside. And the weather is good. Everything's fine. But we'll continue to preach the message. And don't listen to what people are going to say. And today, the case at the court, Serena Cephas is still trying to play delay tactic. And Serena Cephas tried to call Mr. Cummings a hostile witness. You know, he knows exactly what he do best. But from his appearance, from his picture, and Serena Cephas, you can see the frustration because the judge ruled against him on certain things. He wanted for Mr. Cummings to take the case, take the stand, and whatsoever. But we all know, and if anybody tells you that now they try to play the politics, they say Mr. Cummings said that, and the document was never, it never existed. What Mr. Cummings know about is the document that with NEC. If you want the document, you can get it. But if you think that Mr. Cummings and Mr. Cephas got to be careful before we start to play out, because I think I'm going to put his tape together. The last time he said it was for forgery or signature. You know, what surprising me is that the other parties, why and Liberty Party, AP and ALP saying that there was a change. But even UP is not saying about talking about the change, and Liberty Party is not talking about the change. And why the other signature? You know, it just so we know it's politics. We know very well, but I want us to be very patient. They're not going to stop us from campaigning. They will not stop Mr. Cummings. I challenge anyone. They will not stop Mr. Cummings from contesting. This government will not do a damn thing to Mr. Cummings. If they try it, they will be going against the will of the people. And so be it. Maybe Mr. Cummings will be the first political prisoner for them. So let them be very careful. So you guys who think that Mr. Cummings, because you hate Mr. Cummings, trust me, you'll be shamed at the end of the day. So let us be very careful. You will be made shame. As much as you don't want to support Mr. Cummings, that's your right. But I think we should be very careful how we insult him, because a lot of you guys, your information will remain on Facebook. And we'll see you tomorrow. So you'll be careful. And I might see you in the street and you cussing me. I will ask you the question. I say, what are you insulting for? You know, so I'm not going to insult you because of I love Mr. Cummings. I will not insult Mr. Boakas because I support Mr. Cummings. Mr. Boakas too should respect him. So that nothing I can say, yes, Mr. Boakas was sleeping, and that's true. It's showing us. If you see Mr. Cummings doing anything wrong and you talk about it, fine. But for us to be lying or coming on another page and making news, you know, insulting, but it's clear out there. So I'm not worried. And Liberians know the truth, but we need to follow our country. We need to follow history. We need to know what is going on in Liberia. Don't just sit there. Don't say you don't like no politician. It's good. Take a side. It is time that you take a side. If you support Boaka, take Boaka. If you support Cummings, take Cummings. But until we can take a side, we'll get it right. But let us take a side with a genuine reason. Don't take a side because you think you like me. No, take a side about Liberia. Put Liberia. Let Liberia be the focus. You know, what I would like you or not, politicians will all be around. Politicians will always be around. So let us stop arguing. Must say, oh, they're political people, they're politicians, they this and that. And when they get rich, that accept that's truth. They will get rich, their children will enjoy. Don't think that way, but let's just do what is right. So I love you guys. Just take it easy. Have a good day. Tomorrow, hopefully, I will be on. But so far, the case is still in court, and Bilete is still the chairman of Liberty Party. So the CPP is still on, because you got to be two at least to be a coalition. Yeah. So I show the CPP is still part. So don't worry. Mr. Boaga just abandoned the CPP, the vehicle right on the road and got out from the truck and left all the passenger on board. So it's no problem. He can't make it. He escaped. You know, it was too strong. It was too strong for him. And if you can't control 4 parties, how can you control Liberia? You can't make it. The best time of CPP was the leadership of Mr. Cummings. We all know that, and we enjoy it. So, guys, have a good day. God bless you. And y'all know the song. Eyo. Tirere, 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 le, le, le. Alice Cummings will be president. Yombly, you George, we here. Alice Cummings will be president. JB, you Yombly, Alice Cummings will be president. If it may you very John from the new bridge here and kill yourself. Bye for now. I love you guys. This is Munel Kishan, aka the General. When may you very, you got to call me the General, you can also kill yourself and have a good day. Bye for now.